Can you guys hear the music? Guys, I cried for 4 hours last night. I cried for so long about being bald. I cried. I actually cried. I ended stream and I cried, dude. And I woke up this morning and I actually like it. I actually like it. But I cried last night because I was like, it's not gonna grow back. It's like it's not gonna grow back. But I actually like it for the summer. If it grows back, I'll be very happy. I actually might do it every summer. Yo, Sulky, thank you very much. Oh my gosh, wait, that was Topanga. Thank you for the 5 gifted subs. All right, let me open up WoW. Dude, that was a fun episode, though. Dude, that was the first time that I actually did get to meet Rex Troy, and we kicked it off even before the episode got started. Okay, we are currently at 9,977 subs. Fuck yeah. Thank you, guys. Let me jump in the Discord, and let me throw out a tweet. We are ready to go. Guys, if you want to jump into the Discord right now for viewer call-ins, go ahead and do so. I'm going to get water really quick. Just water real quick. Oh, I got free coffee. It's down to me. Oh, yeah. The way she talks when she's spoken to, down to me. Oh, my God. Under my thumb, her eyes are just kept. Yeah, you got it, dude.
There it is, dude. Okay, give me 1 second. I gotta do this. Yo, what up?
Dude, I actually, no joke, I have a pretty interesting bounty today.
What is it?
It's for Deets, dude.
Oh, jeez.
Deets
okay,
nuts.
I'll be back in a... Alright, I'll be back in a minute.
I'm not even kidding, dude. Dude, okay. Did other streamers do this bounty yet? Because I literally saw it and I was like, wait, I get to make jokes about Deets nuts? Like, fuck yeah. S-Van did it. I think Mizkif did too. I actually was eating them during the thing. This isn't even the bounty yet. This isn't even, this isn't the bounty yet. This shit's good. This shit's fucking good. Deets nuts, dude.
Monkey
Guys, join the Discord.
X500.
I'm gonna start the Google Hangout so we can get Asmon's face up in this shit. Also, I want to show you guys something. Okay. Man, I love having Deets nuts in my mouth. What do I need to open? Google Hangouts, that's right. Google Hangouts. You use Google Hangouts? Asmon and I use Google Hangouts so I can see his picture.
Love you, Rich. I think your breath smells like ball sweat, not the other way around.
True, dude.
I finally started playing Classic. Let me know if you ever need a Shadow Priest to play with.
Yeah. Yeah, I will. Dude, thank you very much. Copy link. There we go. Mute audio. Discord. Asmon. Let's do... I gotta whisper Asmon, and we're all set up to go. And guys, I want to say... thank you all for another incredible episode of Allcraft. It's officially been... how long has it officially been now? I think it's officially been 2 months now. Is that right or wrong? It's not really bald though. Okay, so do you want to know the reason I didn't full bald it? Is because I'm scared if I actually used a Bic, it wouldn't grow back. Because I actually I'm getting kind of old. I could see a realm where, you know, maybe it wouldn't grow back if I oh, whoops, wrong button. If I Bic'd it, it might never come back, dude.
Yup.
I actually, it would look better full bald. I sent you the link for your camera.
All right.
Dude, also, I want to show you something.
All right.
I want to show you a video. There's a man. I need to send. I owe him a DM. His name's Adam Schwaggins, and he makes machinimas. And he made a machinima of a story that I told. I think maybe on the viewer call-ins or right after. And I'm talking to him about doing for every viewer call-in for taking like one of the best stories or one of the best call-ins and making a WoW machinima for it to upload to YouTube. I want to show you this video. I think you'll like it.
Right.
You eating a cookie?
Mm-hmm.
How do I search? Oh, also, let me actually link our YouTube because I'm going to upload
like
this.
now. Amazing and beautiful.
Dude, thank you.
I quit my day job. Never donated to Asman, by the way.
You should donate to Asman. He's really funny and sweet and smart.
Mm.
Can you ask Asman when does he go bald like you? You two could be bald bros if he did that.
Would you ever go bald? I think you look fine either way. By the way, guys, this is the YouTube channel. Everything's getting uploaded now. 3 videos a week. This is the last week's episode with Pika. Tomorrow, I'm going to upload the video today with Rex Troy, and then throughout the week, I'll be uploading the other ones. So yeah, so you guys can actually go to the YouTube now. The VODs actually go there. Thank you for the support that we've already received on that channel. And now let me show you guys the Adam video, and then we'll start these call-ins. Adam Swaggins. What'd you do today on stream? I didn't get to watch because I was fixing my hair.
That's a good question. What did I do today? Oh, I got the mount from King's Rest.
Which one's that?
Okay. The raptor. The undead raptor.
Oh, I got that the first week. Congrats, dude. Congrats on catching up.
I paid 1.2 million for it.
Wait, really?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, you wanna see this video? I think you'll like it.
Let's do it.
All right, I'll put it over your head. Is there any way I could get you also here? I'm trying to think. All right, here, just watch, and then I'll put your face back up. Okay, this is actually a wild story about masturbation. One time I was on my way to get a couple beers with friends. These dollar beers
Oh, God.
at the 13th Step. Anyone from New York would know the bar. It's a really shitty bar. And it's named the 13th Step, which literally is a reference to, like, AA. How good is this machinima, dude? Quit alcohol addiction. And it's like the 13th step. Like, you always end up back there. Terrible bar. I was going there, and I need to, like, go to the bank to get, like, a little bit of cash, you know? So I'm on my way to the ATM, and there's, like, a homeless person nestled up. Which is not a big deal. It's pretty common. But, as I'm approaching, I didn't even notice that at first. I'm whistling sea shanty too. Propped up against the That's when I noticed there was actually a person there, locking eyes with the Mona Lisa in the middle of the street.
This one!
Fucking jerking off to the Mona
my
Lisa
God.
in the middle of the street. In the middle of the street, he is fucking masturbating to a print of this. Dude, that is the mind of a genius to be able to masturbate to that. Are you kidding me? And this all goes back to the eyes, though. I think that what he saw was a glimpse into those eyes and what they wanted. Now tell me, what does a Volpera's eyes want? True, man. Those eyes beckon you.
Yep.
So I already talked to Adam. I'm gonna try to figure out
This is
something.
what I was trying to tell people. I've been trying to tell people this shit forever. And I'm glad that you at least have somebody else sees it.
Oh, I see it, dude. I see it. It's not. I'm not saying, and we've talked about this before. I'm not
Yes, we have.
saying that I want to have sex with the Volpera. I just know
But
that
you're
the
saying that
Volpera
they
wants to
won't
have sex
with you.
Yes, dude. Yes.
Yeah.
And that is what we call an agenda.
Mm-hmm.
There's something going on there. There we go. All right. Now everything's set up. But yeah, I'm going to talk to Adam. You know what else is crazy about that video, dude?
What?
All of the places that he's showing in New York, it's the exact bank that I'm talking about in the story and the exact bar. He actually found the exact place in New York that I was talking about. That blew me away. But I'm talking to him about taking some of the best moments from the viewer call-ins and actually turning it into a into like kind of an episode of Machinima each week for the viewer call-ins. Like imagine if we had the like the furry one, the furry call-in, and like that was a Machinima.
Oh yeah, I remember him. Yeah, it was a
Mwah.
real. Oh god, dude. Okay.
All right.
How could I forget?
Let's start the viewer call-ins, and then also the other thing is we should definitely decide what we actually want to do right now for the. Do you want to do a horde raid this time?
You can do whatever you want, dude. I don't give a fuck.
You want to do I'm trying to think. How easy is heroic?
Heroic Nihilotha?
Yeah, should we maybe do a heroic Nihilotha run?
Fuck, I have no idea, honestly.
It'd probably be pretty easy, and then if we're stuck, I can log on to my big dick hunter. Unless there's something else that you want to do, I'm down with literally whatever. But we never do horde, dude.
Yeah,
AS13, Jesus, dude.
Oh shit, dude. There you go.
520 gifted subs this week, dude. Holy shit, dude.
This week?
This week, dude.
Jesus, man, that's insane.
Yeah. Dude, thank you so much, man. I literally, I'm pretty sure you just made me hit 10K for the second time, dude. Thank you.
Oh my god.
Yeah, dude, I got 10K subs. Officially.
That is fucking insane, dude. That's actually insane.
You want to know what's wild, dude?
What?
I'm pretty sure I'm at girlfriend level now.
What do you mean girlfriend level?
Oh no, I'm just pretty sure I could get a girlfriend now. You want to?
Yeah, I can see why you say that.
You want to know? You want to know who? Do you think? Just out of curiosity, do you think I could have a relationship with anybody who has like less subs than me? Do you think that's how it works?
Not anybody, but a lot of them, maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
Because they'll like your personality.
Definitely don't like me for my hair. I think I look kind of better.
Bald?
Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah. Anyway, so what were you saying before that?
Fucking asshole, dude.
Okay.
Fucking asshole, bro.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah,
I'm not gonna say who's who, but we kind of look like an episode of Breaking Bad right now.
Yeah, we kind of do actually. Jesus. Oh my god. Wow.
All right, let's get these started. Where the heck is the server? There we go. All right, let's pull somebody. I'm sorry. Blair Naked Ladies.
Sounds like a winner.
What's up, Blair Naked Ladies?
Hi, am I on the air?
Yes, you
You
are.
are on the air.
First time caller, lifetime balder. I have a few questions for the board.
Yeah.
Well, let's hit it.
Well, I was prepared to jump on in here and cry about corruption in front of everyone, but I think you made some good points today. First, that it kind of is something that you earn through playing a lot, and it's something powerful. But I just came back after playing in Aldir, and now I'm looking at this, and I'm so overwhelmed that I don't even know what to do first. So it might be a good system, but how do they make it so players like me, or even new players, look at it as a way to just not be overwhelmed?
So how to make it more appealing and like easier to deal with for new players is kind of like where you're at.
How to start, essentially.
You know what's
It's just
funny?
a bad.
I actually was in a very similar place to you. I was mythic rating in Uldir in Sioux, and then that made me quit for pretty much full on quit the game. I played at moments, but I had basically quit and came back, and I was in the same spot, and I had the opportunity to play all day long and still felt very overwhelmed. So I think that the problem that you're having is one that probably a lot of players have actually had. And I think that like the way that it goes is you actually spend time catching up on time gated stuff is the most important thing. Like you look at the like item level has never mattered less in the game. Like I look at all of my gear and I've actually switched to a lot of lower item level stuff based off of a bunch of different factors. But look at all the time gated stuff that you have to actually catch up on. Heart of Azeroth is pretty much free now, but the 4 essences inside of it, most people are using Breath of the Dying. So you're farming daily rep, you're farming your Ultima Cord rep, which takes a long time. A lot of people go for different things like Conflict and Strife and Blood of the Enemy, depending on which game modes that they're actually playing. And a lot of people want Blood of the Enemy because they're running dungeons. Blood of the Enemy, I do think, is one of the good ones in a lot of ways, because even though it's a grind that's gated by effort, not that's gated by time. Conflict and Strife, I think, is one that's pretty painful, just like World Vein is. Already, though, that is something that's going to slow down your character a crazy degree. Then you look at the Cloak, and 10,000 damage is locked behind rank 12, and other damage is hidden behind it because you're not going to even be able to run the corruptions. I think one thing that new players can do is mindlessly farm echoes, and that will catch them up in certain ways, but it keeps them away from other players to actually catch up on those echoes. And a lot of those upgrades that you do actually have to go for are complicated for someone who's just coming back to the game.
So do you think it's good to have all these steps in the game right now, or could they condense it a little bit for Shadow?
They could condense it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, for example, making people start the Cloak from rank 1 right now for like a new player, especially with the Malefic Cores, I think it's excessive. It's unnecessary, and it just makes it take too long. I think that it's important to make sure that people feel good about the amount of kind of time that they've invested into the game. But whenever making players feel good about the amount of time they invested into the game comes at the expense of other people not being able to enjoy the game in the same way, then I think it's a problem. And I think that's kind of what's ended up happening with like a lot of the systems, is Blizzard hasn't wanted to modify the systems as much because they don't want to diminish players' effort, even though they do it all the time in other ways. So I hope that like in the future, what Blizzard does instead of what they've done with BFA is that they figure out ways to kind of make the new player experience better, because I think that's something that's really been kind of ignored by Blizzard in BFA, is how is a new player, or, you know, like you are a returning player, how is that person going to enjoy the game whenever it's in the state that it's in? And I think that's a big problem.
Yeah, it's not just bad for the new player or the returning player either in a lot of ways. It's the like the Malefic Cores, for example, that is just such a cumbersome system, period. At the same time, I do think some of the ways that you can work towards progression with the corruptions does add for a longevity to endgame content that is interesting and puts power in players' hands. And I don't mind the fact that it's not perfect right now. Even though I have freaked out, embarrassingly so. If I could delete 30 seconds from my life, it would be when I open my chest every week, because I turn into an actual mouth breather, and it's kind of embarrassing. But that's because I get that upset because I want to be able to. Sorry about that, F. I'm not sure what happened, but I get that upset because I'm excited to get that power gain, and when I feel like it's out of my control, I'm upset. You know what I mean?
Getting Gedaku is the worst thing, man. Like, I mean, what's the chance of me getting the sword from King's Rest? I mean, like 1 in like 150? Fuck, dude. I mean, like, I've gotten every single other weapon in the game besides that. Whereas you have other people like McConnell, for example, got it really early on. And knowing that the only chance that I have to get the best sword in the game for myself for PvP is locked behind a 1 week 1 in 150 roll, that doesn't make me feel good. It just doesn't.
The chest is the worst example of Titan forging that's ever existed in the game. Just because it's not called Titan forging doesn't mean that it doesn't have the same effect in a lot of ways. I think the chest is one of my biggest problems with the game, period. I don't think that I know a lot of people go like, they're changing it. Now you get to pick from 3. It's like a Hearthstone Explorer. I still don't think that that fixes it. I think that overall the mythic chest, for multiple reasons, is a feels bad moment. I think also waiting for a reward for a week just on a psychological level. Obviously, I'm sure Blizzard has like a bunch of like psychoanalysts that talk about things like this and actually think about stuff like this that have much more training than I do. But I feel like waiting all week for the reward and not just instantly getting it and having that feels bad moment makes the feels bad moment way worse. If I am in a raid and the piece that I want doesn't drop, I'm obviously upset, but I go, okay, I'll be back next week. When I wait all week to open the chest and then I don't get it and it's actually isolated from what I just did to grind for it, I think it feels worse. I personally just don't like the mythic chest.
I can see why you say that.
Yeah. Sorry to ask you a question, I'm kind of curious. What was your line of play when you jumped back in and all of a sudden you were trying to play the game? Like, what did you actually do to get back into the flow of things?
Like what I'm doing now?
Yeah.
Like coming back? Honestly, it was, due to COVID and quarantine. I didn't have much to do. I was watching more streams because I'm working from home. And I was like, you know what, that kind of looks cool. And then I got back in and it was just like, holy shit, this is a completely new game.
Did you feel like this is a completely new game that I want to invest my time in? Or did you feel like I'm overwhelmed, I'm just not going to play and I'm just going to watch streams and like relax?
Honestly, I started leveling up because the end game didn't seem worth the investment for me right now.
Okay. Thank you for the 10, dude.
But two quick things, I guess, before I let someone else jump in. Rich, you're a smart guy. Did you know that technically every picture you're in is a dick pic?
I can see why you say that.
Well, now I actually am shaped like a penis with this current haircut. But yes, the name Richard, the typical nickname is Dick, and I never, nobody ever let me forget that all through high school, and that's why I played WoW all day.
Cool. And Asmin, I just have a quick comment on, the content stealing. One day I woke up and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna stream to like thousands of people. And then you just did it. So I'd like an answer and an apology.
What do you want me to apologize for?
I was going to stream to tens of thousands of people one day, and then you just did it. Yeah.
Yeah, you took his idea, dude.
Well, I mean, here's the thing, right? There's been a lot of ideas from a lot of people that I've taken, and it's just terrible. And even the people who I take the ideas from who are okay with it, the only reason they're okay with it is because they don't understand it. So I'm glad that there are people like you that have the level of knowledge and, introspection that can see through the bullshit and see, how terrible I really am.
I took a piece of content. I took a content idea from this guy named, I forget his name because he's so irrelevant. I think it was Vaulty, but I took a content idea from him. I haven't actually gotten to use it yet, but I'm curious as an innovator, I'm kind of curious if you think that my version of his content is good. Here's my take on Vaulty. You like that? Was that good?
Well, I don't know if that's really Vaulty, because what you're saying is that Vaulty made original content, so that kind of rules a lot of. I mean, that obviously wasn't him. It must have been somebody else.
Was it somebody else, dude?
Yeah, it must have been somebody else.
But that's all I have. Thanks for having me, and I'm just joking. You guys are great.
Yeah,
thanks, man.
It was really fun to get to hear your take on stuff as well, and I hope you do enjoy the game right now. I do get how it's kind of overwhelming, but I really do hope you enjoy it.
Steal your hair. Pogo 7 septvigantillion 777
leave?
sextagintillion 777 quinvagintillion.
All right, there we go. That was good.
That was really good. I mean, dude, it's actually a really I gotta actually open up Streamlabs so I can skip the sevens, dude.
Oh god,
it's a funny number, man. don't think it'll ever get old. Dude, when the text to speech, when you hear it verbally get excited, when it's like you hear the first one and it's like, "Hello, Rich. I just wanted to say I'm enjoying the stream," and then the next one comes through and it's like, "Why was 6 afraid of 770 quadrillion 770?" Like that goes up like 4 octaves. It's so good every time.
It's pretty fucking dumb. Pretty fucking stupid, if you ask me. But you know what? Everybody likes different stuff. That's all right.
Yeah, true, dude. Okay, let's big tits anime. You know what? I'm gonna try to be better today. I'm gonna try to be better.
Oh shit.
Jack.
Oscillate _40W cheered. X500. Richard Pless add me to the chat 77,777,777.
Hello. How you doing, Jack?
Hello.
Hey, Jack.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, man.
Pretty good. How about you?
Awesome, thanks. Thank you for picking me to be in the chat. To kick off the question is to Asman. I just wanted to know if you feel appreciated by Blizzard, because the reason I'm saying this is because your daily views are about 60k, and you're the reason I came back to playing WoW. So I don't know. I just feel like they never give you interviews. I don't know. I just feel like you're a bit underappreciated. I just wanted to know what you thought about that.
I do want to, before Asman answers, I do want to say they actually
Rich.
added a playable race though that is dedicated to Asman. Like Fenthir is 100% based off of Asman, so I think that he's definitely getting some love by the devs.
Listen, here's what it is. All right. Like I used to have like kind of a more negative relationship with Blizzard. But honestly, after like the last, I don't know, probably like year or so, I've had like a much better and a much more improved relationship with Blizzard. And in terms of like them giving me anything, if anything, the only thing that I want is to be treated like a normal player. And like if somebody's harassing me or like doing something like that, for them to be able to help me out. But other than that, I don't really want any special treatment. I mean, like a dev interview would be great. But I just want to play the game and make content for the game and like be treated just like any other like content creator, I guess. Like
Yeah,
I don't think they owe me anything.
I feel like with an interview with you, I feel like it would be. I think lately, especially, I think you've been like very fair with Blizzard, and like I don't know. I feel like some of my views I couldn't express. Like I don't like the corruption. But you kind of lately are trying to see the bigger picture, trying to see from their side. So I feel like with you, they'd get the most honest opinion out of a WoW player, which you're just basically a WoW encyclopedia. So I don't know. I feel like you speak for a lot of community, but it's frustrating that they won't give you an interview.
I also think that it's not that they won't give us an interview. We just probably have to actually plan it.
There's a process we need to do, and you know it takes a while. I mean, the good thing about that is that even though I don't have an interview, I have people like Sloot and Preach who have gotten interviews, and I completely trust them to ask the right questions because they always do. So whether it's me getting an interview or somebody else, ultimately. Like it would be cool to have an interview with the dev for like a number of reasons, but at the end of the day, I care about my stream and I care about the way that people watch my stream and if they enjoy it. And so a dev interview is just like a day or something like that. I don't worry about that as much because I know that there are going to be people out there who are going to do and ask those important questions. And also on top of that, I think that Blizzard has gone out of their way to interface with the community more, and the community, or at least like my viewers, are an extension of myself. And so if I have ideas that resonate with the viewers, and I think that'll make its way over to Blizzard regardless.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's basically what I wanted to ask, because I've been wanting to know what you thought for a while. Yeah, I basically just want to say, I don't know. I've been watching the stream a lot, and you're basically the only WoW streamer I watch. And the content you make is just so like unique. Like you're always coming up with new ideas. You made the transmog comps and you made the transmount comps, and they're just great entertainment. So I just wanted to say thank you for that, and
Well,
I
thanks, man.
appreciate it.
I really appreciate it, man. Thank you very much. I try my best to try to come up with like new and interesting ways to play the game, and just a different perspective to give people to have, and make them enjoy the game in a new and a different way. So thank you very much. It means a lot.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you for inviting me, Rich. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it was nice meeting you, Jack.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Schlocky
Oh,
cheered.
thank you very much, man. Peace.
X200. Blizzard has added too much FOMO into WoW.
Those are good.
It draws away from
Wait,
the
Blizzard,
entertainment value
too much
of the product
FOMO?
and instead enforces a certain
I don't-
mentality and playstyle.
Sorry,
If
somebody
they want
somebody
to improve
cheered.
the product,
Somebody
they need to
cheered
add
that
less on
Blizzard
FOMO and
added too much FOMO, but I actually don't think that that's true.
Mm.
Do you? I don't think that there are many instances of FOMO. Like,
I think FOMO is the wrong word. I think that it's more where people are incentivized to play constantly, and if they don't, like fear of missing, like FOMO, in my opinion, which is fear of missing out for anybody that doesn't understand, like creating urgency. I think that wait, what's funny?
I don't know why they're doing it, but they're saying FOMO my nuts, FOMO these nuts.
Yeah, I read that. Yeah, real fucking funny.
It is funny, dude. It's funny.
Uh-huh.
Wait, you want to hear another funny thing? I was
Hold on.
watching my favorite streamer, and he actually did this, dude. He went. He's so funny, dude. He's like,
You're gonna have to be more specific. There's a lot of streamers that do that.
the one that beat Ninja, dude. He's my favorite. That guy's funny.
Oh yeah,
That one,
Okay.
yeah, that one, dude.
yeah.
But yeah, about FOMO, man. I don't think that they actually. Do you think that there's a lot of FOMO? You know what I just decided would be really good for the call-ins too?
What?
Classical music,
Oh,
like light classical music, or like coffee room jazz. I'm gonna
okay.
Nocturnes by Chopin. But yeah, what do you think about the FOMO?
I'm okay with a degree of FOMO. I think FOMO is good for the game. I don't think that it's fear of missing out with BFA though. I think that it's really fear of getting behind. FOMO is the Mage Tower, and I think the Mage Tower was a great type of FOMO. It made a lot of people play different characters and try different things and step outside their comfort zone and really try to go for something. The bad kind of FOMO is something like the legendary cloak and not being able to cap it out.
Yeah, like I think you put it really in a really good way, because I have a pressure to play, and that pressure sometimes makes me not want to play in a very weird way. Like when you have to log on every day for your dailies, and if you don't, you risk falling like very far behind when you can't see the future of catching up in sight. Whereas with Blood of the Enemy, for example, when I just know it's like, okay, when I want to get it, I can get it. I just do Battlegrounds. That feels good because it's like my work is paid off. I know what I need to do. I get down to business and I do it. I think that okay, when you talk about FOMO in that way, I actually do understand that idea. I'm glad that you said that. Thank you. Wow, somebody named themselves after my favorite band right now to try to get pulled up. And I have to pull them up just in case it is actually... Right?
What band?
Have you seen the song Think About Things?
No.
Wait, can I show you the song right now? It's a little
Yeah.
bit off topic, but like, dude, oh my god. Oh my god. Wait, I'm actually so excited, dude. Here, wait. I'm trying to think of like if there's a way that I could pull this up so you can see it.
Ikilulot cheered. X100. They should discover more continents on the other side of planet Azeroth and have us shipwreck on the
Azeroth,
voyage to reset
Azeroth
our
is
stuff to
flat,
zero
dude.
in
Sorry.
new zones.
Azeroth is flat. Dude, alright, I'm really excited for you to see this. I might just put it over chat. Sorry, chat. Never mind.
Takk fyrir þetta, Sara. Glæsilegt hjá þér. Ha. Og svo erum við með næsta tónlistaratriði. Það Daði og gagnamagnið. Think about things.
Ah. There we go. I'm a genius.
Baby, I can't wait to know. Believe me, I'll always be there, so
Looks like his dick.
What?
Never mind.
Cause I don't understand you. Oh, you are yet to learn how to speak. When we first met, I will never forget. Cause even though I didn't know you yet, we were bound together then and forever. And I could never let you go. Baby, I can't wait to know. What do you think about things? Believe me, I will always be there, so you can tell me anything and I'll listen. When we are together, there isn't anywhere that I would rather be. 3/3 of a feather. I just hope you enjoy our company. It's been some time and though hard to define, as if the stars have started to align. We are bound together now and forever, and I will never let you go.
Baby!
Why is his hair blowing up?
To know.
What do you think about things? Believe
Dude, you
me,
can make the sweaters.
I will always be there.
You can make one with your face on it.
Tell me anything and I'll
Great.
And also, dude,
I might even know
when I
what
get to
say.
Texas, you, me, and S-Fan are remaking this music video. You have no choice.
At least,
Okay.
And you're the main singer.
hey, baby, I can't wait to know.
I thought I could just be like the chubby guy in the back, man. Doesn't do anything.
You got the long hair, dude.
There, so you can tell me anything and I'll listen.
Okay.
It's good, right? Do you like it? Wait, you didn't like it?
What? It's actually not like the guy's voice is a little bit. It was like kind of surprising, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be at all. It's all right.
All right,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, it was all right.
I think it's, dude. It's like a 15 out of 10. Yeah, true, dude.
Uh huh.
I-
Yeah, it was all right.
All right. Well, it's like my favorite song right now.
There you go.
I thought you would like it more.
It was good.
Yo, what's up,
Good
Daddy
song.
Frere?
Baby, I can't wait to know.
What do you think about things? Believe it.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Thanks for gathering here today.
Thanks for being here, buddy. What's up?
Nothing. Could I start out with a quick little message real fast for Rich? Fuck
Wait, what'd you say?
Kyle. Fuck Kyle.
Oh, yeah, we don't say fuck Kyle. We say shut up, Kyle.
Shut up. I'm a Kyle Busch, dude. I'm a Kyle Busch. My bad. Yeah,
So you're a Dota fan?
I am.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Fuck you.
Asman, I wanted to apologize. Last time I was on the call, I told you that chicken restaurant on 6th was Hippie Chicks, and it is Happy Chicks. I'm wrong. I'm a fucking idiot. I spanked myself.
Well, now you can go there too.
Oh, man, you've managed to get on the call multiple times by changing your name.
What
So
did he
you
change
watch
his
the
name
screen,
to?
baby.
Like big titties or something?
There's a flaw in the system, dude.
Yeah.
Do you have a question?
I do actually, Rich, with everything going on right now. I don't know if you've heard in New York, it's kind of affected immigration. There was a tribe from West Sudan that escaped on a boat and tried to get into New York. And I don't know if you've heard of them. They're actually the Sugandis tribe.
What's the...
Sugandis nut! Okay, I'm sorry. For real questions, I don't know if you guys keep up with the stock market very much, but
Oh my god.
Sometimes I do. What's been going on? I know it's a very uncertain time.
I'm contemplating buying stock in Blizzard, and I have no idea if either of you guys have invested in them, and if their average stock price tends to shoot up around the time of an expansion because subs.
I
don't know.
personally, because I've independent contracted for Blizzard and been an employee before, I don't think I'm ever allowed to talk about that, actually. I think that's insider trading, right?
I don't know, honestly, but like I remember my dad telling me some rules about it, but I don't remember. I can say for me, as somebody who hasn't worked at Blizzard, like all of my like money is like managed, so like I don't even fucking know, dude. Like I don't know. I let them deal with it, and I just kind of have a degree of oversight, and that's about it. I don't know if it's really a good idea to buy it or not. I mean, the thing is with like Blizzard is that, I mean, they've been a company for a long fucking time, right? And so I wouldn't expect them to just go completely down under. But the only thing that I'd really worry about is some sort of like escalation or some sort of like trade problem with China, with like all of the recent like escalation that's had.
I
Like,
mean,
if you want like
yeah.
an actual answer,
My-
like that's probably the main thing
yeah.
I'd be careful about.
My opinion, dude, is like if you really do want to invest, craps is by far the best odds. And if you play long enough, it's most likely going to go in your favor. So I highly recommend that.
Yeah.
I like to play the pass line mostly. I do a couple of come bets as well. I usually only, depending on how big my bankroll is, maybe play like two different numbers too off the come, and just play your odds, right? That's
I respect that.
Yeah, that's my recommendation. But hey, I grew up in Atlantic City and I used to eat cat food, so probably shouldn't trust me with money.
That's good advice. So I wrote all those notes down. Thank you.
All right, well, thank you very much. You should keep your name the same so you don't get on every single week.
Yeah, I won't scam anymore. I do have one more question for Asman.
Sure.
You guys. Sir.
Okay.
So if when we go into Shadowlands, if Blizzard decides that the warrior class does no longer exist and it's blown up because people can't be warriors anymore for some reason, if you had to roll an alt, what class would you decide?
DK.
Okay.
Yeah, play DK. It's just the closest thing to a warrior. It's basically a warrior, but it has like magic shit.
Miss cooler abilities and no execute.
It's warrior, but it's better, basically.
Mm-hmm. Magic warrior.
Yeah.
Edgy paladin. Yeah, true. That's pretty true. All right, dude. Well, thank you again for coming in.
Hi, Rich.
It was very nice to get to chat again.
Thanks, brother. Stay bold.
Bye. Motherfucker.
Yeah, these are really getting good. These are really getting good, dude. Wow.
You know why, dude? I've been fostering a very positive community. I've been using my
I see
platform
that.
to foster positivity, dude. Just talk about D's nuts all the time.
These nuts.
I'm literally a more toxic McConnell.
That's hard to do.
I just cry about loot and play sea shanty 2 all day. All right, let's see. Super hot. I'm not getting baited anymore. Ultima. Okay, this person's cool. There's no way this person isn't cool. How you doing, Ultima? Did I move in? Yeah, I did. Hi, Ultima. Oh, also, look. The Avi is a picture of an animal. Oh, did I show you what I actually figured out what your persona is.
Did you really?
Yeah, I drew this for you. I forgot to show you this. Do you like it?
Stupid dog shit fur.
No fur,
Bonnie.
bunny mangold by Rich.
Wow, that looks really good.
It's actually pretty decent.
Yeah, that's great, man. That looks really impressive. I mean, it could have been a picture. It's really, really high quality, man. Something really special.
Ultima, you here? We can't hear you, Ultima. I see that you're no longer deafened or muted, though. All right, I'm gonna grab somebody else, but Ultima, if you do figure it out, just let us know. I get scared when people don't say anything.
Yeah, I can see why.
Like revving up for something. All right, let's see. Yo, what's up, Thick Biscuit?
Yo, what up, fellas?
How you doing?
What's going on, dude?
Good man, just chilling.
Cool. So what's your question?
Yeah, so I'd like to give my thoughts on just the current meta of dailies and stuff.
All right.
I guess as someone that plays the game quite a bit, it can be overwhelming to like log on and have this enormous checklist of just mundane tasks that no one really looks forward to. And I would love to kind of steer away from that sort of mindset where it's like just content that you can't fail, right? It's just such a chore, essentially.
Mind-numbing single-player content.
Yeah.
You know what I think would be
Yeah.
better for the dailies? Honestly, if there was a shitload of them, like a fuck ton, and it actually like took a while to do them, sure, but you only had to do them once a week. Like it reset and you just do it once a week, and you could do it whenever you had downtime. Like something like that would feel better. I don't know. The current system is rough. I know that doesn't sound great, but if it was weekly if there were weeklies instead of dailies, yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
I mean, the problem right now is it actually takes such a long time, and you can't catch up on an alt, and you never really finish on your main, right? Like you always need to be doing it to farm visions, because you need to do 2 visions on your main basically. On the off chance that the 470 or the 465 is going to be good, and you'll always need to do at least one to do.
Well, you need to max out your visions on your main. You need to do as many as possible so you get sockets on all your gear,
yeah,
because
need
you can buy
sockets too.
the vials.
Yeah, it's a headache.
Like for me, I'm trying to figure out, like, I don't really care about gearing for PvE at all. That's just like irrelevant to me.
Yeah.
But like for PvP, like I'm trying to think like maybe I'll get like 15,000 and then I'm just going to spend all the rest of my echoes on getting the vials to get the mount, and then also just get the other stuff too. Like I don't like that meta, but
sure.
it is what it is. Like at least it's something that I can go after and try to do on my own. But I think like the problem that like what you're saying is like playing the game a lot. To me, I think that the pressure and like the pain points really happen is whenever you start playing on more than one character. I think that's where it's really bad.
Yeah.
Like on one character, it's for the most part manageable or negligible. It's not like something that you just hate. But to me, like having to do like I'll tell you right now, I'm not going to play a single alt this expansion at all. And I think this is probably the first expansion since War Road to Draenor that I've never played an alt on. Like other than that, I always want to be able to play alts and like try out and see what I can do on my characters. Like in Legion, you know, I had a bunch of different characters that I could do things on, and I would do like PvP on them and different stuff like that. And now I feel like I don't really have like those types of options anymore, which is really kind of sad.
I am playing alts right now because I actually do think that the gearing is interesting, and that like there's stuff that I want to play, which, you know, is a good thing that I feel that way about things. But it is, yeah, it's definitely a really big headache. I think that if they like look, like I have class MD right now. I'm excited about what other specs are able to do and the different corruptions that they go for, and not being able to play it just kind of does feel like shit. And I literally play the game fucking 14 hours a day. I'm not gonna lie, like I'm distracted most of the time when I'm playing. I'm like fucking watching YouTube videos and shit like that.
You only play for 7.
Yeah, but still, yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah,
it's like I still play 7 hours a day, and I don't know. It's just like it just seems like they don't want to move away from it, and I don't understand why, with like dailies in particular. I do think that the flow though of the like farming coalescent, I kind of have a question for you basically. Do you actually think that the way that you farm coalescing essences to be able to go, Asmund, that's a good idea by the way. Do you feel that the way that you do essences, the way that you get coalescing essences from dailies to then move into doing a vision solo is a good thing? Like, do you think the vision flow feels good to you?
I don't think gating things such as sockets or like min-maxing your character to like do higher end content are like behind tasks like so simple and so mindless. I would much have more deterministic ways of like going into the content that we find like most foundational, like arenas and RBGs, raids and dungeons, and earning the like currency through those, and you know, sort of compounding on just not focusing on all the like chores and checklists that we have to do on a day-to-day basis that feel like picking up a second shift on an alt, but really just go into the game and focus on, you know, what we love so much about it.
I actually really, whenever you began that sentence, I was kind of prone to disagree. But once you kind of explain more about it, I actually completely agree. I think that basically having the power that your character has and like the high-end power be linked to like a repetitive activity in that way is probably really boring for a lot of people. And I'm not surprised that you feel that way.
I will say upside to visions is it does give you something that's rewarding to do when you don't have a group, which I think for some players is probably a good thing. But I do think that the flow of dailies and how they actually work out keeps you from playing with players on the high end of things. I do think that when you look at how much power is gated behind it, though I am forced to agree. I like visions, though, overall.
Yeah, I do as well. I think something that they could steer towards is like a sort of a middle ground, or how I would see it is start off by keeping like the main storyline if they want, and like some introductory things, and you know, at a certain point within the reputation, you're able to like evolve the dailies to a task that, I don't know, somewhere.
It's challenging. I love your idea, honestly. Like, it's a fucking joke having to do the same stuff. And like, you probably do the same shit that I do, where like, you'll try and, like once you get enough gear, like, okay, now I'm going to fight the rare elite all by myself and see if I can kill him.
Just
But it's like,
challenge
there's no real challenge in that. It's just something that you're creating for yourself. And I don't know, man.
Yeah, I also think like the visions, they really fall apart, and I'm not necessarily being like visions are bad because of this, because visions were a new system. Like I said, I very much enjoy them, but once you do them on alts and you actually can see the balance of how artificial it was with the table and things like that, it really makes it way less enjoyable. I remember the first time going through 5 masks, and the first time even just going through vision in general, where you're like, oh shit, am I gonna make it? Like, oh fuck, am I gonna make it?
Yeah, early visions were great.
Yeah.
It was like a good time with the guild and a challenge for sure.
I think I'll slightly disagree with you guys about this in just a little bit, is that I'm actually okay with them making it to where, you're able to effectively outscale the content. I think that's okay because you earned that. And as a player, you kind of are able to outscale it completely. And one thing that I wasn't really a big fan of in the past is whenever they've created these different systems that always scale infinitely and you never really fully feel like you have mastery over them. And if you compare that to the way that visions work, I genuinely feel like I have mastery over visions. I completely am in control of what's going on. I never really lose. And I've earned that by playing the game a lot and by, building up my talent tree and having that. And I know that, I have everything completed in it. And so I actually really like the idea of being able to have that control over it. But I can see why it's obviously it can obviously be a negative thing.
Yeah, I'm not
especially whenever it just becomes too overbearing.
I'm not disagreeing with that, right? Like, I do think you do get to the point where you beat the game, right? Like, I like having that meta progression system, and I actually hope that there's a meta progression system in Torghast in some ways. I think that's one of the things that's been really strong in roguelikes in the past. It gives you something to work forward to. The way that the table works though with alts is when it really does start to fall apart with how it feels, right? I'm not disagreeing though with when you actually do look at your main, but when you go on an alt and then you don't have that table progression and you're like, wow, this just feels completely off. That's when it collapses for me. But early visions felt very good. When you actually did get something new on the table, you got increased cloak level, and you're like, wow, I can push a little bit further. I'm excited to see how much deeper I can get.
Well, whenever you got like Elite Extermination, or you got like the Gift of the Titans at the bottom, and you got like the sanity increase at the beginning too. Like, all of these things made it much more fun to do, and I certainly enjoyed it a lot more in that way. 100%. I thought that was great.
Minus the timer, in my opinion, but everything else was great. Yeah, I think they could really steer towards rethinking our time spent in game versus like gating this wall with all these like minimal tasks and like really focusing on just great class design, and then the core content is really where we discover cool things and about our class and like try to branch out, and similar to how like Rex Troy does like really unique things. I think a lot of the player base could discover more things about the game and just how their class works and the ins and outs by being able to like consume the content that is most challenging, and then just rethink ways of approaching it and stuff versus like spending an hour when you first log on just killing squirrels 100 times over, or doing 1,000 island expeditions like on release and stuff. So
yeah,
I don't know. That's just me, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. I think that they should look at ways to make players that are, more serious about the game feel like they're investing their time in a meaningful way. Because right now it just does feel like there's a lot of intentional time wasting that occurs. I think that's really what it is. And I don't think anybody likes to feel like their time's being wasted intentionally.
And it's also, it's like, yeah, I mean, you want to be able to play the game for fun, which is the thing that I really liked about the Echoes of Nyalotha. I've said this on a few different occasions. I feel like the Echoes of Nyalotha actually feel the way that Artifact Power should have felt. I feel like no matter what I'm doing, I'm getting rewarded, and there is an end to it. And I don't feel like this weird force to grind. And it reminded me of the badge system. Go figure, the badge system that people have asked to come back in the game. When we get somewhat of a version of it, it does feel like it works. And I was playing Arena, I was playing Battlegrounds, and I was playing Dungeons whenever the fuck I felt like it. But as long as I was playing the game, I was getting more echoes, and I was getting what I needed for my character, and I actually felt like I could just play content. And yes, could I have min-maxed and really hunkered down on one thing? Could I have thrown in arenas and just been low rating in 2s and gotten the most echoes? Yeah, sure. But the thing was I didn't feel that rush. The only thing that made me feel the rush was the rotation on the vendor. If that rotation was gone, I would just like, yeah, I'm just gonna play the game and fucking have fun. And stuff like that, I think, is incredible. Because then all of the sudden, your friend goes, hey, dude, I want a 2s cap. Or I'm pushing for Glad. I really want to play with you. And you go, yeah, sure, bro. Let's fucking do it. Or you say, hey, I want to do a key. And then your friend's like, yeah, I'll heal for you. I could use the echoes. And I think that things like that are really strong. And when you have the player base actually wanting to get out and just play content, because go figure, they want to play a game that's fun. They want to actually play their character, which they've gotten a shitload of gear on. I did a dungeon the other day on my Hunter. You know why I did it? I didn't need echoes. I didn't need fucking anything. I did it because I fucking had a bunch of gear and I wanted to fucking pump, and I had fun.
Yeah, I'll do that sometimes.
Yeah.
It's just like join like a random dungeon and just like delete everything that's in the dungeon. It's actually pretty fucking fun to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why
It's like your old LFR videos, just hopping the fucking meters, man.
Yeah, just pump on people. It's fucking amazing. I love it.
Yeah.
And I guess it's like not really as common now, but like back in the day, like that's all I would do, man. Is I'd love to be able to just like go and show off like how badass my gear is and all of that.
Yeah.
And like now I feel
sure.
like that's not even really like doesn't even really matter. Like I don't know. I think like almost like Blizzard doesn't want that to be in the game.
Yeah,
Which is like really kind of sad.
they definitely need to refocus their like incentivization and like the prestige aspects of the game, because that, I think that really drives what people, or that really drives the player base to do that content. If there's like a true incentive with like cool cosmetics and exclusive rewards and things like that that they're earning, I think that's such a
I think like
core
prestige
part of the
rewards
game.
are compelling for a lot of players, and it's not just like this like really small amount of neckbeards or losers or something like that. I think there's a lot of people who are compelled by cosmetics and that kind of stuff. And I wish
100%.
Blizzard realized that.
Yeah,
Look
Mage
at the
Tower was the
success of the
perfect
Mage Tower.
example.
There you
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, I just, there's so much potential with the rewards, and like rather than like, as I've been saying, with the time spent in game, that they're really fishing for that like active player base. A lot of it would be seen like people would stretch their capabilities and their talents and really try to improve and just to achieve things like that.
Yeah, I give people things that they can kind of they like push them to their limit, or give them the opportunity to push them to their limit. And I think also like just having harder dailies, I think that's definitely going to be one thing. Like to me, the dailies are too easy. I mean, it's a fucking joke to do the dailies, and it's just a time waster. Like I don't want time wasters in the game. Like some of them are okay, but I think that time wasters should be things that kind of players create themselves rather than the developers, I guess.
Yeah, I like cozy content from time to time, like doing some mount runs with friends on Discord or just random things like that. But, you know, outside of the core of the game, you know, it's really doesn't have a place in my eyes. But
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoy doing, like, every now and then doing my dailies and watching television, right? Like, I'm not going to lie, but do I feel like doing that every day? No. I would actually probably, and the reason that I brought up the weekly thing, I had never even thought of that before. I just kind of shot that out of my asshole randomly, but I would enjoy doing that once a week and sitting down, turning on a movie, and just fucking going for it, and, you know, maybe jumping in a call with a couple of friends, just shooting the shit. When you say cozy content, that really kind of that's such a good way to put it. I literally I like turning on the AC in my apartment, getting under a blanket, playing with one hand, not really playing, just feeling my character out and doing something. It's like idle content, and idle content's fine every now and then, but it shouldn't be forced every single day.
Yeah,
that
I feel like
shouldn't
a
be-
nice balance is really good for the game.
You sound
You know,
like a
I-
content creator, by the way, that I like.
Oh,
You sound a lot
nice.
like I don't know if you ever watched his videos, but Bloodshed, Diablo content creator. You have a good
No, I don't
voice,
think
dude.
I have.
It's very soothing. You sound smart too.
Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah, that's a stretch, but you know,
No,
I like WoW at least.
I
and
mean, it's pretty
I enjoy
easy
it.
to sound intelligent when you're on a call with the two of us. But yeah, no, you got a good voice.
Yeah. Anyways, I don't want to take up too much time, but I really appreciate talking with you guys, and I think you guys are doing a great thing, and just sharing the love for the game and just ways we want to see it improve. I think that's at the end of the day, it's our goal is just purely positive, and we really want to see the game go in a good direction. So
It's good for
I really
everybody. If the
appreciate that.
game is good.
Yep.
Yeah, I really
Yeah.
appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Yeah,
man.
man.
It was
All
nice
right,
meeting
see you
you.
guys.
Yeah, that's actually like such a huge thing though. I know like with like for example, like when the changes actually came in for the torments, everybody was like Pog, the community won. Community won. It was like, no, dude, the game won. Like actually same team. Like Blizzard won, we won, everybody won, the game won, the game got better. And that felt fucking good. Also, dude, there was an actual real golden kappa in the chat.
Wow. We had one the other day on my stream too, actually.
How does it work?
I don't know. I think some accounts are just like randomly activated to have golden kappa. It's probably like 1 in like 10,000 or something.
Does it happen? Does it happen forever? Like, if you get the golden kappa?
No, it's just for a day. I'm pretty sure.
Really? Wait, everybody's checking now. While we're doing this, can we do a really quick simp check?
How do you do a simp check?
You type pokey and then exclamation or capital W. Would you do one really quick in the chat?
Jesus. Oh, yeah, there it is. There it is, Dan. There it is.
Yo, let's do Horde Battlegrounds.
I do BGs. Dude, I don't have a character on Horde, man. I get it's.
Fine, I'll get.
Do you have an alliance character like that you
Yeah.
can play in BGs, or does it suck?
My alliance characters all suck, man. My Horde character actually needs BGs, but it's fine. I'll log on alliance characters because I care. Dude, this
let me
music
think
is so good. Well, you know what?
Can you do mercenary? Fuck, I don't think you can do. You can't solo queue mercenary, can you?
Oh no.
Fuck.
You know what we could do really quick? Just
What?
one time.
What?
Head over to ICC.
You want to do it?
I kind of want to do
Okay.
it, dude.
All right, let's do it, dude. Let's do it.
I'm Arthan.
Let me finish this one, then I'll go over there.
I'll start clearing. It's actually been.
Horde, right?
I actually
think you're gonna get it this time, dude.
Actually, I'll go on alliance. I'll go on alliance, dude. Imagine if I got 10K subs and invincible, and no hair. My life is complete.
Yeah, I can relate.
Dude, you have a lot of hair. It's just concentrated.
Yeah, well, I have long hair.
It's just
okay.
it's concentrated.
Yeah, it's concentrated around the back and the sides of my head. It's great.
I actually think you would look even better bald than I do.
I don't think that I will.
Really
I think that I'm too skinny.
I mean, dude, I'm not that much thicker than you.
I don't know about that.
At least not where it counts. All right, let's pull in somebody else. Are you guys calling me fat? He called you fat? Did you call me fat, dude?
I don't think so.
Wait,
I mean,
do you know how much you weigh?
You can be skinny and still be bigger than me. Okay,
Do you
like
know-
I'm really skinny.
Do you know how much you weigh?
Like 120 pounds. Yeah. Yep.
You know what weighs more than you?
What?
Deets nuts. Wait, I should turn on the bounty, dude.
Good idea.
Dude, I actually want to get the entire show sponsored by them.
Yeah.
Do you think they would sponsor Allcraft?
Deeds nuts.
Why not? They did a Twitch bounty. Wait, Dude, David's in chat. David goes, no, stop. Dude, I actually weigh so much more than you. I didn't realize. I weigh 165 pounds. I thought I was pretty.
God damn.
I thought I was pretty skinny.
Wow.
Is that fat? I feel like that's pretty.
It's getting up there, man. It's getting up there. Let me go over. All right,
Depends on height. I'm 7 foot.
Yeah.
Normal. That's normal.
insane.
You're normal. Hi, David. Yo, yeah. Anybody who's looking for an agent, everybody at David in chat, at him. Yeah, I'm sure he'll sign a few of you. He's looking for. He's looking for people in Twitch chat to sign, dude. What was I doing? Oh, should I turn on the Deets Nuts bounty? I don't know what I need to do for it.
I don't know how to do it either. I don't do any of those bounty things. I have no idea.
All Craft After Show with Asmin, sponsored by Deets Nuts.
Okay, dude.
What? It's actually what it's actually sponsored by Deets Nuts. Viewer call-ins. Twitch will evaluate hashtag sponsor will automatically be added. Start. All right, and there it is. This is this viewer call-in section is officially sponsored by Deets. You know what Deets is, Asmin?
What are they?
Deets Nuts.
Oh, got him.
They're delicious.
Oh, shit.
They're delicious. Deets Nuts are delicious. Yeah. They really are. Deets Nuts. Grab a handful. Grab a handful of what, you ask, Asmin?
What?
Deets Nuts.
Okay.
Okay. I'm on my alliance if you want to invite me. Are you still in your
I'm heading over there right now.
I actually here wait. So I tried the pepperoni one already. I actually want to try. I have no idea what I need to do for this bounty, but I assume I just eat it.
That's a good start at least.
Contains no actual nuts. So they're meat snacks. It says pork and honey in it. It's actually pretty good. Could you imagine if after 10 years of farming this amount, I got it and it was sponsored by Deets Nuts? And every time that I rode Invincible, I'd be like, I got Invincible right next to my Deets Nuts.
Was gold.
Oh, God, dude.
Dude, if I get the mount, I'm going to be the biggest sellout for the rest of my life.
All right. I'll take it. That's good enough. I'm already heading in there, dude.
Baked?
I'm ready to get this fucking mount, man. I think it's going to happen.
No, dude, it's not baked. They're actually smoked. Thanks for asking. Man, I love Deets, man. Why are you smiling like that?
Me?
Oh.
Somebody just posting some stupid ass shit.
Why are you smiling?
The usual.
Are you smiling because you're thinking about Deets?
I'm not thinking about any nuts right now, okay, man? That's no. No fucking, I'm not thinking about any goddamn nuts.
Did you know that nuts don't only need to be nuts, they can also be bits of meat? Contains no...
Really? Nuts are bits of meat? That's crazy, dude. Like, wow, what a surprise. Damn.
It ain't nuts. It's beef. Deets Nuts. Brought to you by Deets Nuts.
How many Deets Nuts can you fit in your mouth?
How many Deets Nuts can you fit in your mouth?
How many of Deets Nuts jokes can he fit in the stream?
Wait. I actually want to see how many Deets Nuts I can fit in my mouth, man. And then if I pull somebody in.
Nuts long.
Smoking Deets Nuts, true, dude. 2, 4. 6. I got 8 I got 8.
8 of them? That's good, dude.
I got 8 Deets Nuts in my mouth.
Damn, proud of you, man. Oh, fucking god.
I got 10 Deets Nuts in my mouth.
Oh my fucking god.
Let's pull some AM.
I don't know if I can kill the. Can I kill the boss with you not here? I don't think I can.
Wait,
right?
slow down.
Yeah, I'm not going to.
Hey, Lingo. Can you hear us, Lingo? Sorry if I sound funny. I got Deets Nuts in my mouth.
$5 is $5. No homo to also love you guys.
Thank you, champ. Okay, I think Lingo went to go buy some Deets Nuts. Then maybe back to the waiting room.
48 Deets Nuts first.
Is that true, Asmund? Did Balti eat Deets Nuts first?
Look, man.
That's a clip
Probably.
for Pornhub.
I mean, probably. You know.
Hey, Jam.
Watch out, Rich. Don't choke on.
Or is it
Deets
Jan?
Nuts.
Is it Jan? I'm sorry I called you Jan if it's Jan. It's probably Jan. Are you there, Jan?
On a scale of 0 to Asmund, how salty are those nuts?
They're definitely... Asmund is definitely saltier. Okay, I'm going to move Jan back to the waiting room. Hey, Daniel. Daniel left?
What a fucking bitch.
Hey, Hannibal.
Hey, hello?
How you doing?
Give me a second. Let me just mute the stream.
Yeah, go ahead.
There we go. Hello?
How you doing?
What's up, dude?
Just fine. Pleasure to speak to you with you guys. God damn, I'm stuttering already.
You're fine, man.
How you doing, man?
Just fine. I was speaking with the people down in the waiting room, and we were
What
talking
were they
about
saying?
Indian accents, and you just interrupted me, so I didn't get my chance to practice, but I'll do it right here. Hello, guys. I've come here to play some World of Warcraft and speak with Asmongold and Rich on the stream.
It's pretty
I
good.
really like how you roll the R's, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's easy when you're from Sweden.
Yeah, dude, wait, that's actually a thing, man. Why does everybody from Sweden roll their R's? Like, is it just common in
Yeah, it's in
Hey,
a lot of
Asmund, how
words,
many cookies
so
can you
Okay.
fit into your
it's just
mouth?
something. I think Finnish people have even an easier time learning new languages because their language is so scuffed.
True, dude. So what questions do you want to ask?
So I have a lot of questions written down, but you guys have covered pretty much all of them since the first episode. But I have one that you haven't covered, and that is regarding like playing alts. So we have maybe 4 or 5 systems in Shadowlands, and the only one that's gonna be like available to us from day one when we hit max level is the Covenant and the Covenant abilities. But then we will have I think Soulbinds and Conduits, and Ion kind of explain like they're turning knobs to balance the weak points of the Covenants that you decide to pick. But I was thinking that if those two systems are locked behind time-gated content, how will you be able to play your alts? How will they be able to be viable maybe a few months into 9.0 or other patches?
That's a great question. I don't think they know. The alts, as I said before, like alts have been something that I feel like Blizzard is just kind of they've just kind of ignored. And the thing is that the way people want to play alts, like it does matter a lot. And I think that in order to make the game fresh for people, playing alts has to be compelling and interesting, and people have to want to play alts. And some of the changes that they've done have, I think, done the opposite of that.
Yeah, I mean, Torghast sounds really interesting, and the fact that they actually went back on the change with the soft timer gives me some hope that Shadowlands will be a good expansion. But still, if you feel weak playing your alts because you haven't unlocked all the soulbind talent trees and you don't have access to all the conduits, it will still feel bad playing an alt.
Of course. I mean, I don't see why. I feel like it's completely unnecessary for them to create systems like that aren't shareable with your main. Like, I don't feel like it adds any gameplay. I don't think that it makes the game better at all. I think that if anything, it makes the game worse. So I agree with you there entirely.
Yeah. That was all. I was just wondering, because I haven't been keeping up with all the updates on Wowhead. Maybe Blizzard already has mentioned that issue, but that's just something that I thought of whenever I think it was Preach that did a video about one of the problems with the Covenant systems.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have been bringing that up. I mean, Preach has been like really on top of that. Like with the legendaries, it was the same thing. And, you know, I don't know, like, I like what Blizzard is trying to do. I just don't really think it's going to work.
Yeah.
That's really what it comes down to.
Preach has definitely been doing a really good job with it. The one thing that I'll say on the side of optimism, I feel like we're in a place where not only are they listening and talking, and it's not like they didn't want to before, but I feel like both the community has gotten better at talking and asking and doing things in general to help the developers and to help ourselves. And I feel like the developers have also gotten better at listening. And so it's like, it's very much a two-way street. And I feel like this alpha is also earlier than ever before. And I feel like we have a lot more wiggle room. Like with BFA, it really did feel like in certain ways that it was just like, it's about to get shipped. You're playing the alpha just to get views for a lot of the streamers. That was really like the only reason that it felt like it was there. And that doesn't feel like the case right now.
Yeah, I mean, you're right that we have a lot more wiggle room, but at the same time, I'm pretty confident that they'll be able to nail down Torghast pretty well at launch. But at the same time, I'm not sure if they'll be able to deliver on most things that they're actually aiming to deliver by Shadowlands in Q4, if I'm just being honest. I'm kind of worried about that they will leave some things unfinished or half finished and tell us to wait by like 9.1, and then maybe they even have new ideas that they want to implement by 9.1 and just postpone that until they just, ignore it.
What in particular are you worried about, out of curiosity?
Classes. So the fact that Ion thinks that the biggest problem with the systems in BFA was that they were introduced after each major patch, and he thinks that the problem will be solved by actually front-loading all the systems in the beginning is not something that I personally agree with. I think having your characters feel incomplete without 4 systems out of the gate is a bad design decision. That's just me. I like my classes to feel more or less pretty much complete in the beginning, and then have some flavors to add, like via tier sets or something like essences or Azerite powers, some shit like that.
I think that makes sense, man. I think a lot of people feel that way.
Yeah.
I think honestly, like, it's just going to take some time. Like, your skepticism, I think, is not misplaced. It's definitely a good possibility that Blizzard won't have it ready. Now, if that happens, it happens, and it is what it is. I mean, I'm not really going to get upset about it or anything like that.
I was just going to say, there's a difference between it not shipping 100% perfect and it not shipping 100% perfect and taking 2 years to fix. Right. I think if let's say that there are a few things that don't come out at the beginning that we really do want to see. And, 2 months in, all of a sudden that's fixed. A month in, all of a sudden that's fixed. That's fine, in my opinion. Right. It's just how long we've had to wait in the past is historically off.
Yeah, I agree. And as long as I think if Blizzard nails the classes down, even if they do feel complete once you have all the 4 systems, I think Shadowlands will be off to a very good start. And I hope that they can use that to just further propel them upwards. And maybe in like 2 or 3 expansions that I've like I've heard Asmongold say before, maybe we'll be in a really good spot with World of Warcraft. I'm being optimistic because, we're older now. I'm 25 and I still love the game and I love playing with my friends. World of Warcraft is the only game where I can play with like 20 people or more and have a challenging experience. And, I don't want to be playing, Dota or CS or Valorant these days all day because that's just with 5 people. And, but at the same time, I can come back home from work and feel like, oh, I have more work to do in game, and maybe I can play 2-3 hours Monday to Friday, and then I'm just spending time doing Mythic Plus and World Quest, and then on Friday, like a degenerate, I can play 16 hours. It's not that fulfilling for me, but at the same time, I know that maybe the game is not catered to my age group anymore. But at the same time, I feel like World of Warcraft is not really drawing in these new degenerate Zoomers the same way it used to. I think they're playing other games.
True.
Yeah, I think that they need to. They should want to go after the degenerate Zoomer audience, because those people will play the game forever. They'll use it as like a lifestyle. They'll love the game. Like that's what it all is going to be. I totally agree.
And the game's been around for a long time. And I think that like people think that just because it's been around for a long time that Blizzard's not going to be able to innovate on a lot of ideas. But I mean, like, look at Dietz and Watson. They've been around since 1939, and they've never stopped innovating and offering new delicious meat and cheese products. The recipe for Dietz Nuts is something that they were working on for over 80 years. So you look at Dietz Nuts, and I just think Blizzard should be taking a page on their book.
Yeah. Yep. If only they could do that, man.
I love the way you just snuck it in. Caught me off guard.
Yeah. I do that with Dietz Nuts all the time. Oh, man. But yeah, you bring up a lot of really good points. And I do feel like classes are the things that I kind of go back to most frequently and put kind of the most pressure on.
Yeah, because, I mean, at this point, I don't think anybody is complaining about the way Blizzard is designing raiding counters. I think their raids have been pretty much great, almost all of them across the board. They really nailed down a good formula how to make interesting boss encounters. So I have nothing to complain about there. But I mean, as long as your class doesn't feel good to play, we already know like you're not really looking forward to playing the game.
It's the lens in which you experience all of the content.
Exactly.
Like, they should be varying lenses as well. I remember back in the day, actually, when I was raiding ICC the first time, it started really in Ulduar. I was like, man, I've never really played in a high-level raiding environment. I've never really played Melee. And that was when I started playing my Enhancement Shaman. And I remember feeling so insane when I would call out my Spirit Wolves, Spirit Walk, and run through the Serenite puddles. Like, that is a memory that I have to this day because it was so unique compared to what I was experiencing on my Warlock. And I had envy. I had envy of like what Melee players were able to do. And I was excited to do the same fight in multiple ways because it felt very different, even though you're doing the same fight. And a lot of that class balance, Asmon's actually brought this up, and I've always thought it was a really good point. He talks about like potentially dialing back on some of the raid mechanics and actually making the classes a little bit crazier and make the difficulty on that end. And then you have varying experience as well.
Oh, for sure. Because when you play with friends, it's nothing more fun than to talk shit when they're performing badly at their character. It's one thing if they're failing on a mechanic, because they can always learn. But if you're bad fundamentally at your class, that's just endless content.
Well, it's also
when the skill ceiling's high,
yeah. Fun to talk shit to somebody whenever it's like, aha, idiot, you didn't get lucky this pull. You suck.
Also, yeah, I mean, like, look at it this way, and I'm not saying that. Holy shit! Dude.
Oh shit, 69.
Dude, nice.
God damn.
Dude, holy heck, man. Dude, thank you for the 69 gifted subs during the Dietz Nuts bounty. Thank you very much for that. Damn, an epic beer gamer. Thank you. But yeah, I mean, look at it this way. Imagine, like, okay, people were coming into my chat when my Hunter wasn't doing damage. And they were like, haha, like, can't play BM Hunter. And it's like, Do you really think I'm messing up BM Hunter? It's like, I never, like, there's no way that I can mess up BM Hunter. And I love BM Hunter. It feels really clean. And I actually think that some of the things that feel unique about it, some classes should strive to have things like that. But yeah, I mean, the point definitely does stand. Dude, Epic Beard,
Yeah,
thank
sure.
you so much, dude. Seriously, thank you so much for the 69. I could not thank you enough for the 69. I'm so appreciative of the 69.
Yeah, I just like to see like more more
I
in-depth
seriously love the
classes and just
69.
more kind of
Thank
stuff
you.
like that. I think that's
Thank
the
you.
main
Thank
thing
you,
that I'd
Epic
want to
Beard.
go after, and just see more interactions, more spells, more abilities, more situational abilities. I think that's something that's really important. Is we don't have a lot of situational abilities right now, and I wish we did.
We
Yeah,
are
Blizzard
getting
have
some of
built-
those.
Yeah,
Some of them back, but Blizzard's approach when they did pruning was like, oh, if you have an ability on your action bar and you almost never use it, just let's remove it. And, you know, it kind of gave your class some nice flavor. Sometimes you use it, and it felt good.
yeah.
Oh, I also had another quick question about the amount of raid difficulty. I don't think it's feasible that we get Blizzard to actually remove looking for raid, but maybe we can remove like normal and then make an easier version of heroic. Because I feel like I think looking for raid has no place in World of Warcraft at all. But I think that's not something that Blizzard even wants to entertain, if I'm being honest.
I kind of agree with you, and I think really the best middle ground and like what I'd want to see if that doesn't happen is I just like to see them do a baseline of the LFR gear throughout the entire expansion and not let the LFR gear allow you to basically outpace other content in the game, which is what I really think the worst thing about LFR is. It's not even about being able to see the raid. It's about not having to see the other raids because you just do the easier version of the current raid.
Yeah, the 15 item levels per difficulty is a really strange number. I mean, I think I heard Ion, I don't know how you pronounce his name,
think it's
talk
Ian.
about that's the specific magic number where a player feels more powerful. But I mean, if you have to feel more powerful after each difficulty and not even each major patch, by the end of expansion, you feel like you're playing a completely different character.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I do like those moments when you get a piece of gear and it does change your rotation, right? Like that is interesting in at different points in the game. Like for example, I guess it was Moonkins in God, what was it called? Tomb of Sargeras. You actually got I think you got the Stellar Drift talent as a tier bonus, as a tier set bonus, and it changed the way that you played your character, right? And it was fun. It was like, oh, cool. I'm excited to play my Moonkin again. And things like that, I do like. I think that those can keep the game fresh quite a bit.
Yeah, hopefully. I think I heard you guys mention the server problem and that Blizzard is fully aware of the server problem. Have they said anything about fixing it in Shadowlands?
They're like, you know what? We're looking at it.
So that's a no.
They're looking into it, man.
No, because I recently came back to World of Warcraft because I'm working from home, and you know, there's nothing better than to play World of Warcraft during a morning meeting. And, dude, I did Battle for Nazjatar for the first time yesterday, and I was shocked. I've never had it that bad ever.
Yeah, it's so fucking awful. I can't even believe how bad it is. It's insane.
Yeah, I was like, is this even a game that I'm paying for? I mean, I don't want to hear any excuses from Blizzard. Like, I'm paying you. Nobody cares why the servers are lagging. Just fix it.
Well, at the end of the day, like, yeah, they can rationalize it and say, oh, well, you know, there's a lot of stuff. But yeah, you're right. I mean, at the end of the day, like, we are paying for the game, and the game is undoubtedly not working. And
yeah,
I think it's like an instance of like, I don't know, like the customer is always right. I always find that like very kind of cliche and like obnoxious, but I think it's an example of that. Of like, even if the people don't really know like what the problem is, they know that there is a problem, and I think that's enough for Blizzard to need to take action, and very soon too.
What if the problem is somehow related to like the hidden scaling system or sharding, or maybe both, or all the systems combined with RNG?
It's everything, man.
Is that something? Yeah, is that something that they even are able to fix then? Because they seem to want to keep it in the game.
They have to change it, because the thing is that you can't have a system in the game that makes the game dysfunctional. Like at the end of the day, like you just can't have that. It's that's not fair.
Did you see the Preach video? I'm sorry if you said that you did.
Oh yeah, with the dice rolls.
Yeah. I think that's like we're obviously guessing with something like that, but I did really enjoy that video.
Yeah, that's I kind of agree with that video, but at the same time, I mean, if the developers feel like this is engaging and what's the word, exciting gameplay, I don't know how weird the players can change their mind.
I feel like it is kind of hard to figure out what the best solution is, but I just want to see I want to see the game functional and working, and I think that they shouldn't add any more PvP systems or any other type of systems in the game until they can get the current systems to work. That's the main thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that there was kind of a, oh shit, you didn't do the, oh, did you not do the Blood Council? Oh, never mind. Yeah, there's a thing with, I honestly think with BFA, they just tried to do too much. And there was a lot of focus put in certain areas, which made other areas feel a little bit thin. And I hope that that's not something that happens in Shadowlands. But seriously, dude, I think you brought up so many points. I want to thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you guys for giving me this opportunity. Is it okay if I shout out some people before I leave?
Yeah, sure, do whatever you want.
Yeah.
All right. I want to shout out some of my friends that are watching right now. Rami, Alko, Kevin. You guys can suck my dick.
Wait, no. Say.
So you're probably good friends with them, huh?
Best friends.
Yeah. Deets Nut sponsorship ruined, dude.
Oh man, I'm sorry. No, you'll probably get maybe some shaving cream company, or because you're rocking the ball.
I don't want anything but Deets Nuts.
Oh man, I think you're giving Asmongold the courage to shave his shit sooner or later.
I do think Asmon will look good with a shaved head, but I don't think he looks bad 100%.
Now. He will look great.
He's a good-looking dude. Like, it's as simple as that. He's a good-looking dude, and you know what? He doesn't even need to be good-looking. He's handsome. Or inside. He's handsome inside.
What? All right, thank you guys. Have a great night.
All right.
Have a good one.
Appreciate it.
No, I mean it. You gotta. The inside is beautiful. Your soul's not bald.
That's great. It's just great.
Okay. Here we go. It's time.
About to get mounted, dude. So here's what we gonna do, right? You got the mount, and then Rich is gonna get the mount.
Okay.
So
what?
The mount is the mount, and we have to get it.
Okay.
There it is.
Okay.
You ready?
Just about.
Man, for a second I looked on the Lich King's throne. He wasn't there, dude. I was so worried. I realized he was down at the bottom. I was like, where the fuck did he go?
Can I ask you one question before we get started?
Yeah.
Did you know that Deets Nuts are a savory smoked sausage, but also they're the first snack of its kind? They're the first meat nut in America.
The first meat nut?
In America.
They're not the first. I can think of at least one more. Or sorry, two more.
They're the first meat nut in America. Now it's time.
All right. Here we go. Are you the literal Mount God?
Before me, I only see the reigns of invincible. my favorite part of the fight, by the way.
You know what? I actually think it's gonna drop today. You know, I don't always say that. But this time I really think that it's a little bit different. This time we're just gonna come over here and it's gonna happen. Yeah, it's gonna be a 100%, man.
Any last words?
Congrats.
Okay. I would like to say one last thing.
Hit
Hands
it.
up.
Did you get it? Did the mount drop then? Did you get Invincible? I don't think he got it. Rich, no. Don't you come off the edge. Listen, I'm making a portal. You go to that portal, you come back. You come back. Don't you go around that portal. No, hey. There you go. Come on back over here. Come on, no, don't. Don't you do it. Don't you. Lost a good man's thing.
Wait for it. Wait for it to move back far enough. It's easier on the hunter because you have more momentum. So you go a little bit quicker.
Let me see the toilet.
Dude, I'm telling you, wait for it. Wait until I really move far.
Fuck, dude. I can see it. I can see it, man.
It's been a toilet.
I can fucking see it, dude.
It's been a toilet the whole time.
Oh my god, Shadowlands is shit then.
Dude,
No,
frozen
man.
throne.
I thought it was gonna be good.
The frozen throne has been a toilet for 15 years.
Oh my fucking god, man.
Literally, to quote you, dog shit ass game, dude. Oh man. Go again?
Just a second.
Oh, pull somebody in. Happy place
So you
music.
got 10 nuts in your mouth at once.
True, dude.
That's a whole basketball team. Will you be changing your last name to Kardashian now since you're obviously qualified?
Oh, I didn't realize that the Kardashians liked the first meat nut in America.
Lola
I didn't
Bell
realize.
1 cheered. X300. At Rich Campbell. Hi Rich, I finished my Warlock set today from Mythic Nyalitha and am
Congrats.
now 482.3 Ilvel. Here it is also Shoresman because he's a really cool guy. I
Wait.
also have 600.
Congrats for what?
Somebody got 400. They wanted to show you their transmog.
Lola Bell 1 cheered. X100.
Oh, man.
Patrick Campbell,
There it
hi,
is.
Rich. I finished my Warlock set today from Mythic Nyaltha and am now 482.3 level. Here it is, also show Asman because he is a really cool guy. I also have 600.
Isn't that a full set?
Lola Bell
Isn't that
one
just the
cheers.
Nyalotha set?
It's the Nyalotha Mythic set.
Crazy. So he put what he did. He got all the pieces that go together and he put them together.
Yeah, put them on. Wait, I just gotta go to. Hey, Pokey.
This is Pokemon.
My
I'm
man.
looking for a shiny ball head to lick and rub my nipples on it. Do you know anyone that can help me?
Okay, that wasn't Pokemon.
It wasn't.
I don't think
Man,
so.
I thought it was for sure.
I actually thought it was. Like, she's gonna see the stream eventually.
She'll eventually see it. Yeah.
She'll eventually see the stream. I just don't know what I need to do. What if she came in on the viewer call-in, man? I wonder what she would ask. Probably something cute. Smart.
Yeah.
You know what I would tell her about?
What?
Deets nut.
Well, they're a healthy snack. You know?
Delicious. They are actually good. No joke. You know why I even did the bounty in the first place?
Why?
Because S-Fan called me and told me about how they're keto for like an hour and how he loves Deets nuts.
Yeah, I can see that.
Alright, just because we just said it. Why are there 8 people in the waiting room named Pokemon?
I wonder, man. What a surprise.
Hey Rich, what's the name of that song you just played?
Haru no Yokoi. Hello, I'm a guy. Hello, I'm a guy. I'm a guy?
He's deafened and muted.
They're all deafened and muted. They hear it on the stream.
Oh shit, okay.
I'm gonna pull in Camwise. What's up, Camwise?
Hey, how's it going?
How you doing?
Doing pretty well. How are you guys?
We're chilling, man. I just got the mounts, so I'm pretty stoked about that.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I got it. I promise.
Been going for this for a long time, so it's good that they finally got it.
So before my question, I just want to say, Asman, been watching you since Tara Wow still made videos.
Oh,
Super weird.
shit.
He got a wife and kids. So glad you
and, like,
didn't.
he has a toy channel now.
Wait, actually?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
super popular and everything.
Yeah, toy channels are like the thing.
So my question is, you kind of brought it up how all the raids should just go through the whole expansion, but since we're going back to 60, why not just make every raid open, period? Like,
And how'd you balance the gear?
I don't know. Devs can do that.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
do it,
Here's
devs.
the thing. Here's the thing, dude. The devs can't even balance gear from one raid. How do you think they're gonna balance gear from
True.
50?
True.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's a cool idea. I mean, that's really cool. But I'm not
be
gonna.
like,
not gonna
be like
explain.
Guild Wars 2 then. You just do it for the Mogs.
Good game, by the way. Actual good
Yeah.
game. Underrated game. I had a buddy who I worked at MLG with. His name's Will, and he like kept trying to get me to play, and I was like, Ugh. And I finally did, and I actually sunk a lot of time in it. Good game. Also, Asman, get on Alliance character. Let's go again. One more try, dude.
All right, let's
One
go
more
again.
try.
All right, I'll do it. All right, let's go.
I also had a crazy revelation the other day. How would you phonetically pronounce BFA?
Bofa.
Yeah, Bofa D's nuts. VIP Turbo.
Oh man, I gotta open up this package. I know right now, you know what, I can't open it up. It kind of looks like I'm just playing with Deets nuts. You hear me playing with him? I'm playing with Deets nuts.
That's crazy.
Oh man, wait, what's that?
Man, this shit's not gonna load. I'm trying to log on. What the fuck? Okay, I'm on. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Dude,
There it is.
I swear, dude, ever since McConnell started ranking, I never see him. Do you play with him a lot?
We usually play at different times. Because usually goes to bed after the stream, and then by the time he wakes up, then I'm not on. Like, I'd be down to play with McConnell. Like, he actually, like, he knows he knows his place in a BG.
Do you have any friends who don't know their place in a BG?
The fact is, like, most people don't. And usually what they need to do is buff me and let me do everything. Like, buff me, heal me, do everything, and just let me go to work. That's all they need to do.
What rank are you?
7.
Oh, that's a funny number.
Yeah.
All right.
I know. I hear about that one a lot. It's the funniest number there is.
Yeah, dude. I had this one. I watched this one streamer, and
yeah.
I don't know why he hates the number. Like, he'll hear it and he'll just say,
Peace, people.
"You wake up! What is that? What is the 7? Oh, stop with the 7! Goo goo! Goo goo! How do I stop 7? Goo goo! How do I stop the 7s?" He's a Terraria streamer.
Jesus Christ. Imagine being a Terraria streamer. God, that's sad, man.
Imagine being a WoW streamer. Goo goo! Goo goo!
Yeah, there is that.
Dude, I actually watched Quinn farm diamonds. I have no idea why. I watched him farm diamonds to one of the songs from Doom, and I clipped it, and I rewatch it. I have no idea what's going on, but it's that one song. Wait, let me play the Doom song. Oh, dude, what's it called? Doom. It's Doom 2 soundtrack. It's not the one that people usually play. Wait, the only thing they fear is you. Oh my god. Wait, do you know the song? Dude, listen to this.
No, I've never heard.
Dude, wait for it.
All right. Shit's intense.
Dude, he literally was farming trees in Terraria to this song. And I was like, yo, Terraria is dope.
Jesus, man.
I liked his Terraria streams. I've never played it, but maybe one. Dude, have you played No Man's Sky, by the way?
No, I haven't.
I watched that video. I had no idea who Internet
Yeah.
Historian was, and everybody was like, yo, you gotta watch this video. So I watched you watch the video. No, I actually watched it by myself. But everybody's telling me that you already watched it. And I actually want to play No Man's Sky now.
Because of like all the time they put into it?
Yeah, dude. Like, they deserve us playing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe it's good.
People were saying it's good now.
Let's see. What's a game that I want to play?
Do you think that Visions and Torghast is a build
Like,
up
I'm
to
thinking,
doing
like, what do
solo
I
and raid
want to
content?
play? I want to play Ashes of Creation whenever that comes out.
What's
I've been
that?
hearing a lot of good things about it. It's a new MMO.
That's actually how I was created.
Yeah.
I'm
gonna look at the.
Do you want to play the new
footage.
PoE?
I'm deciding.
My fellow
Dude, it actually
like, the
looks
thing
awesome.
This is former Vice President Barack Obama. If I were still president, I would
I mean,
make
like, I
Turbo
want to
Fart
play. I told you
420
what I
my
want
vice
to play, right?
president. Or at least to the IP.
Wait, yeah, you did, but I don't remember.
Righteous Fire.
Wait,
I want to
really?
be stupid. Yeah, I want to be real. I want to get so geared out that all I have to do is walk on top of Cirrus and he dies. You just say, "Hey, oh, I'm here. Oh, you dead? Oh,
Dude, I actually,
my bad."
I actually really, you missed out on aura abusing, on aura
Yeah.
stacking. I'll give you.
I don't like it whenever it gets OP like that. I feel like it's boring. Like
Wait,
I
you
just-
literally
I think-
just said you want to be OP and you want it to be boring.
Yeah, well, no, but like the thing is that I don't like the way that like the headhunter, I guess, creates that though. I guess
No,
and that's
there's
what I
no
don't like.
headhunter for the aura stacking build. You can
Wait,
run
really?
it. Yeah,
I
no.
thought you had headhunter.
I do. I mean, I flipped headhunters, bro. I was rich. But the thing is
I know.
the thing with aura, the aura stacking was you used the visions of wait, am I messing that up? I was literally calling them visions of perfection. Whispers. It was whispers. I haven't played in so long. Voices. Wow, that's what it. Thank you. I actually haven't played in so long. You would use the voices, and then you would put in on each voice node. You would put in 3 aura abusing things. So it was purposeful harbinger and heraldry, like were like the 2 main ones that you would use, and it basically made it so all of your auras just. Your damage got increased for each herald you had on, and then your heralds were free. So you ran every single herald. Then you got amps for all of your auras, and you ran basically every single aura that you could in the game, and you just became this invincible, legitimately invincible, the highest damage thing that's ever existed in the game. The other thing that's really broken that I made, and I never really finished, but now people are really screwing. I don't know if people making conversion like Eternity Shroud Archmage builds yet with Stormbrand, because I set
saw
one up.
Yeah, I saw one. Fast as fuck made one.
Oh really? Okay, so I made one. I
Yeah.
already have all the pieces, so I just didn't actually get to mess with it fully. But yeah, I actually want to go on before the league's over and mess around with that. Yeah, we're talking about PoE. The new league actually looks really cool because crafting is awesome, and being able to like craft in a new way. Usually in a game, I wouldn't get that excited for it, but in PoE, it never upsets.
Yeah, it always kind of like matters, and there's like these new combinations that you have access to and shit, you know?
I mean, look at the crafting stuff and how the crafting stuff actually went. Like last time that they added new crafting stuff, it was legitimately awesome.
Oh, with like the masters?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that
I mean,
was
everything.
great.
I mean, like
1,000 times better
when
than what
I
they have now.
first started playing,
or what they had before. I mean,
I first started playing during Betrayal, right? Was that?
yeah,
End of Delph.
Maybe I don't remember.
End of Delph. McConnell got me into it. Wait, can you actually take the wheel for 1 second? I'm gonna get water and
Go ahead.
pee really quick. You're in charge.
Okay.
And I'll check the VOD. If you do a good job, I might send you a gift.
Okay, all right. I have to tweet a picture of my new mount here, boys. Give me a second. Okay, should I do it like this? Oh yeah, dude, there it is. That's good. That's real good. All right. Look at that, dude. Oh my god, dude, that mount, man. I cannot fucking believe I got that. I am so happy, man. I did actually get a new mount. I'm super, super happy about that. I have to fucking make my tweet, man. I think, I think Rich is gonna get it this time. I know a lot of you guys are probably thinking to yourselves, why do you think it's gonna happen? It's a 1 in 100. Well, I thought I was going to get this mount today, and I did. So I really think that I know what I'm talking about. Like, whenever I think that I'm going to get a mount, I get the mount. And so I think this is going to be the time that he gets it. You know what the sad thing is that Rich is probably going to be upset whenever he gets the mount, because now he won't be able to use it for content anymore. But that's okay. I mean, we'll see what happens. Everyone for watching. I love you all. And thank you, Rex Troy, not Rex Tory, for being on Allcraft. Next stream. Fuck, I can't spell stream. Will be Saturday. And we kill Mythic Ashara. How the fuck do I spell Ashara? Fuck. Okay, there we go. What are you doing? What the hell are you doing, man? How you doing? Oh, we got the blue ones. We got the red ones. That's good.
Wait, what?
The cups.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
I got the I got multiple colors, and it's actually it's so dumb how little things like that make your life better. But I was actually thinking, like, I grabbed this cup and I was like, do I want blue, orange, purple, or green? And I picked the cup, I filled it up with water, and I went, man, my life's really good right now. I swear, it's like the little things like that. My room's like a little bit cleaner than it's been too in the past. And I don't know, I'm just like really happy recently. You know why?
Does it have anything to do with the fact that you hit 10,000 subs?
It might be helping, dude. My life's pretty awesome. I have 0 problems.
Yep.
My life is so good.
Yeah, there is that. It's gonna be so badass whenever you're in Austin, man. Like, it's gonna be actually crazy.
I can't wait until the amount of ideas that I've had of stuff that we could all do together and we've just never gotten to do. I really can't wait. And also the thing is you know, you finish a stream at, you know, 6 a.m. my time, so it'd be like 5 a.m. your time. Like that's just when I finish my stream. And the only person who ever is down to talk at that time, it's always S-Fan. Like,
yeah, because he's the only person that's awake by then.
Yeah. I'll literally message S-Fan and he'll be like, "Yo, what's up, dude? Frick." I'm like, "All right, man." Like, and I'll talk to S-Fan, and like I've actually been talking to S-Fan so late in the night on Discord calls that I'll just like literally fall asleep on the Discord call and like wake up the next morning and like I'll be like, "Oh shit," and then you'll be like AFK in the Discord channel too, like and that's great. And I like, you guys are literally my best friends, even if I'm not in the same place with you guys. Imagine actually being in the same place, you know? I just can't wait. I seriously can't wait. Yeah. It's actually, it's so wild to just be able to say like, oh yeah, I'm gonna move too. Like, and also, you know, I wouldn't be able to do it if it wasn't for you, man. Like, I wouldn't have even streamed if you didn't like push me out of the nest, you know? So thank you.
I'll tell you something, man. I convinced I got Esfond to like start streaming. I was like trying to motivate him. I got Zach to motivate him. Tried to do that. I pick winners.
Dude, I remember the first time you told me that, and I was just like, damn, dude. And like having a person who believes that about you is like one of the best things in the entire world, right? Like when you have friends that actually like, I don't know, like having you and S-Fan as a support line for years now. Like I'll never forget the first time that I met you guys in person was the three of us. I had already met you in person before that, but the first time I met S-Fan, like you said, hadn't streamed yet on Twitch.
Yep.
It was like right around the time he had gotten into all the shit
He
with
had
YouTube.
just gotten banned, and like, so he and I, so basically this was South by Southwest, right?
Yep.
Austin?
Yep.
3 years ago?
Yep.
Okay, so the first time I ever met Esfond, like we were on like a Discord call talking about something that had to do with like Classic WoW or something like that. And then he started, he messaged me, and then I got into Discord with him, and I talked to him. I remember like Esfond and I, the first time we ever talked, we talked for like 6 hours about just like fucking everything.
Yeah.
And then he's like, finally, we're talking more, and I was like, yeah, you really should start streaming on Twitch. He's like, yeah, I want to. And I'm like, fuck, dude. Okay, well, why don't you just go do it? And, you know, I finally was able to, it wasn't just me, right? It's not like this is something that I convinced him to do. Like, he was going to do this anyway. But, like, still, I had tried to help him as much as I could. And I remember he finally came down to Austin, and I met him at a Walmart. and then the next day, we went out together. It was me, you, Esfond. Were you there whenever we got the pedicab where they, like, the bike, where we get to sit in the bike?
Wait, I feel like I remember it, but I don't remember it enough.
Or like it was like me and Esfond's friend.
Yeah, no, I don't think I was there because I was hosting something.
It was the same day. It was the same day.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually don't think.
I think that was like fucking 3 years ago.
Yeah, but it's also crazy to think you literally didn't have a sub button, or you had just gotten the sub button too. Like that's the other thing that's really crazy about it, and I hadn't streamed yet at all. Like I had like a little bit, but
I was like a 5K Andy or a 6K Andy then.
You were like 3. It was like right before because you went from 3 to 10 to 100. Like it was crazy. Like I'll never oh man, I remember the day that you got the sub button. I was in Ohio, and I was in Ohio for I forget which tournament it was. I think it was it was a LAN for Arena. And I remember I was there just like, dude, like, oh my God, he got it. And I remember sitting in the hotel just waiting for the sub train, like seeing how far it would go and like fucking screaming at my phone. I was like, yeah, dude.
It was fucking insane, man.
That was so crazy.
I remember like it was just going off the entire time. I got like 2,000 subs on the first day.
Dude, it was
and like
crazy.
then I felt like that was what happened. I looked at my graph. I was like on like the Twitch tracker thing. I saw I went from like 10,000 to 20,000 average viewers in one month.
Yeah.
Like in 1 month. Like I don't know how the fuck that happened, but it did.
So you know what I actually think it is? I think that not having the sub button. I mean, I could be completely wrong here, but not having the sub button and then getting it when so many people wanted to sub already, and it was almost like they were like everybody was ready to go, so you got a lot of subs. I think it created just such a hype moment that people who didn't know who you were like, yo, did you just hear like there's this guy on Twitch who just got like 2K subs like a second ago, and everybody was like, oh shit, I'm gonna tune in. And then you're just genuinely a good content creator, so people stayed. I think that was one of the things that helped get you that tipping point, and then you really blew up when you changed your schedule.
So it was like a number of things, right? So I had like 2 to 3K viewers, maybe sometimes 4 whenever I do like a transmog competition or like a fun raid. And then I got banned. And it wasn't really me getting banned that got me the viewers. It was the fact that I remember I stayed up all night and I talked to the guy at Twitch about it. We talked for like 2 hours. And then the next morning, like obviously I just went to bed and I woke up at like fucking 2 or 4 a.m. or something like that. And as soon as I got unbanned, I went back online, and that was in like 7 a.m. So I started streaming in the morning. That's how it happened. Is I stayed up 24 hours after I got banned because I was like fucking stressed out about it, and then I passed out and it reset my schedule. And then like my viewership immediately went from like fucking 3K or 4K to like 6K, like 5 to 6K pretty much overnight, just because there's more people online in the morning.
Yeah.
And I was streaming at a bad time. And also like a lot more of my viewers were like just online then. I don't know what it really was, but they were.
Yeah. Somebody said,
so what?
Somebody said Cat Danny helped make Asmon popular. That's definitely true too.
Fuck yeah. Like, I mean, the thing is that all of the people making the videos and shit about me, like that's whenever those started popping off. And yeah, EU viewers. Yeah, I have a huge EU audience.
I think WoW does,
like,
period.
Yeah, you might be right about that.
Like I've been like it's really weird because like I've noticed kind of the same thing. I obviously don't stream during that peak time because I don't stream when you stream, but my viewership is highest right after you stream, even if you didn't stream that day. Like if you didn't stream that day and you stream that day, if you stream that day,
it's still the high point regardless of how high it is.
Exactly. Like if you stream that day, I'll usually get like 2K viewers now right after, even if you don't host. If you didn't stream at all that day, I'll get like 17. But if I keep streaming, the viewership starts to go down because I think NA starts to fall asleep, and like EU, I don't know what happens. It's like so hard to keep like track of the time schedules. But there's like a clear moment when I can tell people are waking up, and the viewership just starts to go up again. And so it's actually really interesting
to
see where
in the morning, right?
Yeah, like 5 a.m., 7 a.m. my time.
Yeah.
I do want to say really quick because I just realized that the Deets Nuts bounty is over. These are actually like, obviously it was fun to joke around about the name, but if you like meat snacks, these are actually pretty good. Like, I want to just say that because you're allowed to be honest with the bounties too. If they're bad, I'd say they were bad, and also if I thought they were bad, I wouldn't keep eating them, and I'm gonna keep eating them, and I'm probably gonna order more. So, thank you, Deets Nuts. I actually want them to sponsor Allcraft. Allcraft, sponsored by Deets Nuts. It's honestly probably the best branding I've ever seen. And the thing is I wonder if it's on purpose. It has to be, right?
Yeah, I bet it is.
420 cheered. X100. Turbo Fart 420 cheered.
You ready to get them out?
X100 Turbo Fart 420 cheered. X100 Turbo Fart 420 cheered. X100.
Yeah, I'm ready to get them out. Yeah, I'm ready to get them out. We'll see what happens. All right. Oh shit, dude. Here it comes. Wow. Is that a Nazgul cosplay? That's good, dude. That's good.
Yo, wait. Who am I? My precious.
Asmongold.
I thought you were gonna say Gollum, and then I was gonna be like you.
Radar and 13.
Took my joke, dude.
I know.
Long time viewer of Asmon and been following Rich for about a year. Both of your streams helped me take my mind off her and never stop being you less than 3.
Dude, if I get this mount right now, I will gift 100 subs in your stream.
All right, let's go. Let's go, boys. All right. Hopefully we get it. Oh, we're getting serious. You ready?
I'm ready. Light, grant me one more final blessing. Give me the strength to fight.
All right. Here we go.
Wahoo! Loot it.
You want me to loot it?
Loot it. I already did. I already lost. Loot it. Loot it.
You know what they say? Sometimes you get it.
Grats on the mount.
And sometimes you get God. That's what they say. It is what they say. Yeah. Think about it like this. Next time you do it, there's either a 50-50 chance you get it. Because it either drops
Or it doesn't. Yeah.
or it doesn't drop. Those are the only two options, Roy, that it can have. So I don't see the problem.
This is the only mount that I've farmed for legitimately like years. This is the only mount that I farmed, and I haven't gotten it. You know the other one that I farmed was the Astral Cloud Serpent. I got that. I got Ashes on like my third try.
Really?
Yeah, like I actually.
Holy shit!
So Zico taught me how to like use OBS, right? And when
Okay.
Zico taught me how to use OBS, I was just like fucking around. I was like, I guess I'll go like try to grab asses, dude. And I'm good at that in real life. And sure enough, that night, first like very early in my streams, got it. Fuck you, still farming that shit ass mount. True, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Should I pull another caller in?
All right, let's go.
What up, Muscle Cow?
You'll be bald by the time you give Invincible. Oh wait.
Dude, the bald thing, it's not that bad, huh?
No, it's all right.
I think I probably look better with hair, but like this is the worst thing. And I think that I will end up having more hair when my hair grows back.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I will. I think it'll grow back thicker.
So.
Yeah.
Hi.
I mean, my hairline's not that bad. It's not great, right? The bigger concern is like I know that I'm starting to get my bald spot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if it grows in 2 months, dent head. What hairline? Glasses are too big. You know what else is too big doing work? I can't tell you, but you can ask your mom.
Oh, that was a perfect Deets and Nuts joke.
Yo, what's up, Muscle Cow?
Yo, what's up?
How you doing, man?
Getting dominated by Alliance and AB.
Pay good money to get dominated sometimes, but what's your question?
You know what? I don't know. I was actually falling asleep at my computer waiting. Well, I used to play WoW like religiously in college. Like I'd save money because I would never go out. I'd just stay home and play all day, all night. And then I quit in Kata because I just hated when they changed the talent system and Activision came in and they changed a bunch of shit and I just didn't really like it. So I quit and I didn't really play it again until I heard Classic was coming. That's when I found Asmon's stream. It was a lot of fun watching it, and then I just got the urge to get back into it. And yeah, man, your content's great. Like I gotta say, like, I kind of wish I found you sooner, but I'm glad I did because I'll just I work from home all the time, even before coronavirus happened, and I just have your stream on while I work, and it's just like you say, I don't have to watch it, I just listen to it, and it's just fun to listen to.
Well, that's good. I mean, for most people, it's because it's not that fun to watch. You know, it's WoW. Okay, you can only do so much.
Yeah, it's facts. Hey, but the transmogs, that's actually fun to watch. Like that's a wicked idea. That's how you did that. And did I heard you talking the other day about commissioning an artist. Are you looking at getting like the person's winning transmog like put into art?
Yes.
Dude, that's such a good idea. That's what I thought you were talking about, and I was like, that's incredible.
Yeah, I'm gonna hopefully talk to someone tomorrow and see what the options are.
Oh, that's wicked. That makes me want to like get in the retail and try it. Like, so that's another thing too. I know people asked you before, and they say when's a good time to get into it, and you say the pre-patch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I might give it a shot because I'm having fun in Classic, but it's not like no matter how much you want it to be, it's not the same as vanilla. Like, I remember AV. Going into AV, I'd have to like set up something so I don't AFK out while I take a nap because the friggin' match is going for like 3 days straight, not ending.
Yeah, it's pretty bad, dude.
And now it's like over in 20 minutes. So it's a lot different. It's a lot of fun though. It brings back memories, but
yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't remember what I was gonna say. Jeez, that's the first time that's ever happened to me.
Mm-hmm. It's
I agree.
Take your hair off now. It's your age is coming out now.
Yeah, now
all the thoughts just float away.
Yeah. Nothing to keep them in. Yeah.
Hey, I've been growing my hair out for 2 years to donate to cancer. So you know, if I can't donate it because they stopped taking donations in Canada, like last year, I can send it your way.
Oh, thank you.
I'll need it. Appreciate it, man.
Dude, having long hair, I've never had long hair, but it's such a pain to take care of. So being bald's not the worst thing.
Yeah.
No, I don't really have any questions. I just wanted to like, I didn't think I'd ever get picked. I was gonna change my name to Pamela Anderson to get picked because it seems like that's the way to go.
Yeah, that would probably might have worked, man.
I almost did it.
Maybe that would have worked on me like 10 years ago. I don't think I'd fall for the Pamela Anderson anymore.
No, no, it's a bit pokey. I get it.
Pokey? Yeah, that would have worked. Yeah.
Well, there's 10 pokies in there now, so.
Yeah, it actually doesn't work anymore. I actually won't pick anyone named Pokey. Because it doesn't... Yeah. I want Pokey to pick me. Asmon, look at the stream real quick.
Oh man, nice ears.
What the fuck is this?
Are you turning into a furry?
I I actually think he looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you actually like you don't look bad. I just think that they're like I don't know. Maybe you and Trainwreck should collab, dude.
I don't know if that collaboration would be TOS. Okay, that's a little bit much, man. Yeah.
Yo, but thank you for hopping in the call, my man.
Hey, thanks for pulling me. I wasn't ready. I was not expecting to get picked, so I was just chilling. I just ate like all food, and I was actually going to do a food coma. So when you said my name, I just woke up.
I feel like, dude, you're like you're the ideal WoW player, man. You're just like constantly on the edge of sleep. Like, start playing WoW, gonna fall asleep. Ate some food, gonna fall asleep. You're
dude.
cozy.
Well, like I okay, I don't have questions, but I got two kind of funny classic stories. These are like college. This is college.
Oh, yeah.
College me playing classic. So one story. First time in the Molten Core, we're like one of the first guilds going in there. I'm main tank. I don't know why the hell I did it, but I rolled a gnome. So I'm a gnome main tank. I can't remember what boss I'm tanking. I think it was Golemag. And I was sitting there tanking him, and it felt so cool the first time being in there. Like the first game to be like that was so incredible. And my computer just shuts off instantly, and I'm sitting there tanking it. And I'm freaking out. I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah.
My computer used to overheat, so I had the side of it off. I look in, and my friggin' kitten went inside, and it pulled out my IDE cable out of my hard drive.
Oh my
What
God.
the fuck?
Thank God the cat didn't get hurt, right?
Dude,
Like,
dude, I had to plug the cable back in, and these things did not boot up fast, man. Back then, I booted back up. I friggin' loaded back in the WoW. I'm just like, my adrenaline's rushing because I was like, oh my God, I can't like mess this up. I finally get back in the WoW, and my character is still sitting there getting beaten on by Golemag. I'm like, I don't know how the hell my friggin' guild didn't pull aggro, but no one ever knew. That was so hilarious.
welcome to classic, dude. The amount of issues that cats have caused for WoW players, like it's like the cat jumped on my keyboard excuse started for a reason, right? But yeah, I mean, dude, that cat story, I mean, that would have been a good that, you know, I've seen a bunch of clips with cats on Twitch. If you were streaming back then, you probably would have blown up.
If I had a camera that wasn't a flip phone back then, yeah, but you know.
Yeah, maybe.
And then the other one was my friend was a healer druid, and we're in BWL, and we're on Firemaw, which is like, you know, one of the first really hard bosses. Yeah. And it got down to the end, and it's just the whole raid dies. It's just me and him, and Firemaw's down on, I don't know, really, really low health, and he's throwing heals at me. I'm popping shield wall. He finally goes down. It's at like 1%. I'm the only one alive, and I think that's when I had like my shield wall up. I'm spamming execute and managed just to finish it off, and that was such a surreal feeling. Good. Dude, we like dropped the raid and went down to the bars and just got hammered because we had half an hour before the bars closed.
Dude, hell yeah.
We got him, man.
Dude, that was the ultimate celebration. Yeah. But those are my two classic stories, and I mean, it's not like that now because it was so different back then, but man.
Dude,
yeah.
I feel like everybody's got one of those stories where like the close kill, you know. I remember in it was on, oh God, what was that boss's name in Black Temple? The one with the volcanoes, Supremus. We were doing that, and we had a boomkin. I remember I played with her and her husband. It was Riot and Serini were their in-game names, and Serini was the moonkin. And last player up, just spamming Moonfire, running away from Supremus, and it went down, and it was just like the hypest moment ever. Oh God, dude, those moments are still in the game and still really hype, right? But like, those are just always going to be some of the best moments in a while.
They feel so good, just that last little 1%. But then if you don't get it off, you feel like shit.
Honestly, like, I don't even get disappointed anymore whenever it just doesn't go. I'm just like, yep, another one. That's the way she goes. Yeah, I don't even give a fuck anymore, man. I just play the game.
Oh, it's been at like what, 16 years now?
Yeah,
just about.
Yeah,
pretty crazy.
Can't last that long. I know, it's nuts to think about it, but hey, no, thank you guys so much. You guys do some wicked content. This All Craft is great. Streams are great. Yeah. So thank
Yo, I
you.
appreciate it, man.
Yeah,
thank
thank
very
you.
much. Thank you.
The college boys are always chill.
Yeah.
I actually I remember in so college for me was Cataclysm, and
Yep,
that was
same.
when I kind of stopped playing, right? Because all of a sudden I was like, wow, dude, I'm in college, and then LFR brought me back to the game. I'm kidding. You know what actually did bring me back though was Firelance, because I was next in line in the guild for the legendary.
Yeah.
From all the way back, and like I was like, shit, I need to get in there and get it, and I got in, got it, and quit, and then came back for Silver.
Yeah.
It's been a wild ride, dude. Yeah, I'm trying to think about what we could do though for PoE.
What do you mean?
I want to do something with PoE.
Yeah.
But like, I don't think either of us are good enough to do hardcore solo found and like make a competition out of it.
I don't know if I want to take it that seriously. Like, I think I could do it if I took it super seriously, but like, do I want to do that? I mean, I don't know. I play games to relax. Like, I feel like if I played hardcore, I'd just like always be stressed out.
Yeah, it's a good story, right? But I want to do something where, like, 2 days we go crazy. But I don't know if I have the self-control to do that. But also,
Only 2 days?
Yeah, dude. Also, like, doing like some sort of competition would be fun. You know what I mean? Like, but I think I would win. Is the only problem. Like, I don't even think it would be close. I think I'd shit on you.
Yeah. I'm sure.
You don't think so?
Well, let me ask you this. Which one of us killed Cirrus first?
On your Necromancer, that league?
Uh-huh.
That league you did.
Mm-hmm.
You were playing a Necromancer, and I was playing a bow build.
Yeah. Play to win.
My goal wasn't to farm Cirrus. I was winning.
I hope not.
That's the thing with PoE, dude. You can play the game different ways. I was mapping. My tune was a mapper. You literally moved around the map like you were. I don't even know how to describe it, man. You looked like shoppers needing to follow social distancing rules. You just slowly moving along, not trying to touch anything, letting all of your minions do everything.
Yep.
It took you 1 hour to clear one map. I get it. You killed Cirrus. You killed him before me.
I did.
But I was pumping and dumping on maps. Not way before.
Way before.
Well, I guess technically I never killed Cirrus that league. But look at it this way. Did you really kill Cirrus that league? Or did your pets kill Cirrus that league? I never killed Cirrus on that tune. But I had a lot more Cirrus clears than you did. Because Cute Dog did it for me. And my buddy Creechling did it for me. And my buddy Austin did it for me. And you know what? I got the same amount of currency. So you had your minions do it. I had my friends do it. Same thing.
You know what? I had that character so geared out, like, and it wasn't even halfway done. He could have gone even harder than that, man.
Dude, did you see what I did with the Necro?
Yeah, you did the spinny shit.
Yeah, dude, the volatile dead spinny shit.
Yeah, they got rid of that.
Well, no, it was I was doing that.
Wait, you didn't do when did you do Volatile Dead? I never said you
No, wait. I didn't do Volatile Dead with that. I did Volatile. I did Spellslinger Volatile Dead the next league. I did the spinny shit.
I know you did Cyclone cast while channeling.
Yeah, but it was just for I forget what I was casting. It was like Meat Shield or some dumb shit. It wasn't Meat Shield, but because that's not how Meat Shield works. But it was something. It was like Flesh Offering. I think I was doing Flesh Offering. But I copied MP's build. Do you ever watch MP stream?
No, I haven't. What is that?
Dude, Empyrean Gaming. Dude, he's such a good
yeah. Yeah, I've seen that.
Ah, he's the fucking man, dude. Dude, the PoE community is actually just filled with fucking gods who are all chill as fuck. When I got really pissed off last league, MP
This is where
literally
they all messaged
they
you?
all messaged me. MP tweeted at me. He's
Yeah.
like, dude, that sucks. But the whole reason we play the game is to farm currency. Like, you get to do it again now. And I was like, true. And then Ziz messaged me. He was like, don't be too upset, dude. And I was like, dude, I literally said, if they ever make a Twitch council, you should be on it, dude. I said that. I
Yeah?
said that. Yeah. I got a bunch of friends on the Twitch council. You should
How
kind of.
about that?
You should probably be scared, but we won't go into
Yeah?
that right now. Yeah, you should probably be scared. I got a lot of friends.
Okay, dude.
All right, an old man. Let's pull in an old man.
I have to get food after this one.
Okay. Hey, an old
I'm
man.
fucking hungry, dude.
Oh Jesus! You grabbed me. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Weird. Wow. Yeah, I'm getting them real salty down there, but okay. How's it going?
Yeah.
Oh, is that why you grabbed me? Because I was getting people salty? Were they saying something? And
No, what were you doing to everybody?
Oh, they just. I don't think they like my opinions about WoW at all.
Yeah.
Oh God. All right.
I guess I kind of have a really like probably unpopular opinion of what I personally would like WoW to be, and when I see other people discuss like what they are, I'm like, oh, I'll give my opinion, and it gets people real salty. Like, I kind of like Covenants as the way they are, and I kind of don't like open world the way it's being designed currently. Like, but I kind of want like more D&D in my game and less like esports, which I guess is kind of unpopular.
I love D&D.
I don't think that's unpopular.
Oh,
What makes you think it's unpopular?
Well, the Covenants thing is unpopular for sure.
Why do you think it's unpopular?
But people like the Covenants being the way they are and like being locked into them.
Yeah.
I've not heard almost anyone else say anything positive about them in the current
Well,
state.
I mean, like, why do you think it's unpopular though?
Because I mean, honestly, I guess it's just my anecdotal, like my personal experience.
Well, let me put it this way.
I have not heard anyone.
So you play D&D.
Yes.
Let me explain what I think is the big difference between D&D and World of Warcraft. As somebody who's been a dungeon master for years, I literally my first streams were Dungeons and Dragons streams. I know those fantasy choices that everybody who is playing in my game have made, and I get to make a tailored experience that takes into account how they've built their characters, and they are fully equipped to answer all of those problems. And at no time do they ever feel like they've made a mistake by building their character the way that it is, and at no time are they ever in a position where they're like, man, I built my character this way, looks like I'm not playing this week. You get to be a focused, with full information, narrative manager in Dungeons and Dragons. A narrative manager does not exist in World of Warcraft. The scenarios are created ahead of time. Should there be things that thrive in unique situations? Yes. But if your main is completely locked into those, and people are actually choosing whether or not you can play based off of what you're tailored to, don't you think it's a little bit rough to have a character that's actually not able to play the game?
Well, I guess it depends upon how you're. Like, I think you made a really good point there, and I recognize that about you being the DM. You can go, okay, I want to make sure these guys don't get totally screwed in X situation. Realistically, I'm gonna be honest. I know Covenants are going to be a problem. Like, I'm not pretending like it's going to be fine, guys. Everything. I know how most people are when they play the game, and I'm not the guy who's trying to get on the Hall of Fame for Mythic. So clearly, it's going to affect me less. I'm not worried about pushing M+. As a whole, I would say I think it's okay if you just switch Covenant abilities in general, but I think everything else vaguely RPG related in WoW has been removed. So when I see them add a thing back, I'm just go, oh, hey, maybe they actually do care about that. It's more that it's more that it goes, oh, maybe they actually care about WoW being an RPG, and I haven't seen any signs of that really from WoW in years. It's to me has seemed like a collection of loosely connected minigames with some RPG elements.
I actually think what you're saying is like really relatable though now, but you even said in your thought, you're like, I don't really care if you're able to change the ability. I mean, how would you feel if the elements were like much more in the way of like you are making huge cosmetic choices for your character, your stories completely change. Would you be okay with that and still think that it's really cool if it didn't actually have power behind it?
Yes and no, because I think people automatically assume that RPG element equals cosmetic non-game mechanic, and I don't agree with that. Like RPG choices, like RPG mechanics are just that. They're mechanics. They have to have some effect on the game in some way. I think cosmetic choices are great, and like, you know, things like the Mage Tower are awesome, but in the end, if you're not ever like, people like to feel cool. They like to feel like realistic people like to feel different and special. And personally, for me, I'm not going to like say, oh, this is how everyone would like the game. You want to feel a little unique. You don't want to feel like a copy and paste of every single other person. Now, I know Covenant abilities are going to cause problems. I'm more like it that it's signaling that Blizzard has like maybe they actually care about some of those things. I'm hoping that they add more options for players to choose and be slightly different, even in actual real ways as opposed to just cosmetic ways. I think cosmetic are good, but I think there need to be other options because generally I think more options are better than no options, even if some options are bad. I don't jive with no choices is better than bad choices. I disagree with that whole philosophy. So if this is like them going, hey, we care about this being an RPG, maybe they do it in a bad way. You know, it could work out awfully. I don't judge people for going like, I don't trust Blizzard to balance these. I'm just saying it's signaling that maybe they actually care about it being an RPG and bringing actual mechanics back into it. Because I don't think RPG is just cosmetic and story choices. I think there are actual mechanical choices that should be made.
It's complicated. I mean, like a lot of the games that Blizzard uses as an example of like, oh, this is what the game should be or whatever. A lot of them are single player games. And
Yeah.
I think that whenever you have a multiplayer game, like it's a different dynamic and you have to design it and develop it differently. Difference with like D&D and WoW is that you're always like kind of choosing to play with people that you're like friends with, usually with D&D. Like you don't really play D&D for the goal of progression most of the time, at least as far as I know. It's mostly like an experience. So with WoW, because with what Rich said, it's not a curated experience. It's something that's predefined. And also you don't have like that built up trust and like relationship that you'd have with, let's say, a friend of yours that you're playing D&D with. I think that's really what the problem is whenever you look at the difference between like the way that Covenants work and the way that, other RPGs work. I don't like the dichotomy Blizzard's created that makes it seem like, making these irreversible choices that can punish your character in the long run and have like negative social outcomes are necessary to making the game an RPG. I mean, the truth is like the game it hasn't had anything like that for a long time. And the closest thing that it might ever have is like the Alderaan Scryers, because it took a long time to respect those.
Yeah.
And the difference between the two was like 2 attack power. Like it just like didn't matter at all. It was pretty much all the same thing, minus like a couple of like patterns and stuff like that you could interchangeably like, craft for the other one. So like, I don't know. I find like the whole idea of this to be a little bit ridiculous because the game's never really had this in the first place, besides anything that happens on a character select screen.
I think that's kind of where I come from it. You're right, they didn't have these big choices for your end game character before.
Yeah.
But at one point, like, I mean, people had alts in Classic, but at one point, like, you didn't just have 4 or 5 level 60 alts, and like the average player did not have multiple alts in Classic.
True.
There were definitely people that had them, but that was one of the choices. It's like you picked a warrior, you leveled that fucker to 60. It took you forever.
Yeah, but
so
also,
of course,
sorry to jump in there. That's
Yeah, go
also
ahead.
because people sucked. Like,
No,
yeah.
you're right, and I think that player skill is obviously played a part in that, but clearly some people at least liked that aspect of it, and I'm saying there should be ways to replicate those choices in a world where people are more skilled. I'm not saying this is the best option. I don't necessarily think it is. I'm just happy that it's signaling that they recognize that it's something. I don't necessarily think this is the best way to go. I'm just like, oh wow, they actually care about WoW feeling like an RPG to some extent. Again, I get the whole curated experience versus non-curated experience, but I think they've kind of gone too far in one direction with removing like even the tiniest little things. Like for example, I'll pick a couple of examples. Is like, the whole two-handed Frost versus dual-wielding Frost. There was always one that was better, but some people just didn't care. They wanted to use a two-hander. It didn't matter if it were if they were doing the absolute top DPS. They just wanted to use a two-hander. Well, Blizzard goes, the overwhelming majority of people use dual wielding and it's better DPS, so we'll just remove it. Now, obviously, the better option is having both of those be balanced, but that's just like the tiny little things that have been slowly pulled out of the game over the years that have made it pulled out any RPG aspects. Obviously, those aren't like direct decisions, but people care about that type of stuff. People still scream about two-handed enhance to the point where Ian had to say, guys, you're probably not getting this back realistically. But those are the type of things, like little things that seem like nothing, but people care about them.
I think so, and
I don't think they
Rick
need to be
would probably
balanced.
say the same thing.
I just don't. I don't think that they all need to be balanced. I will say that.
Well, no, I would rather them be in the game and be unbalanced than not be in the game at all.
Yeah, I agree there.
I mean, like for this, and this is why when I hear people say like, just remove that, nobody does that. I'm like, that's like the worst attitude you could possibly have. Blizzard's used that logic on us before, and we all hated the result of it, and that was the removal of PvP vendors because people were quote unquote buying the wrong gear and putting themselves at a disadvantage. So I say leave more of these options in the game, and that removes a lot of my personal attachment to I don't really like Covenants are like, oh my god, they're the best system ever. I don't really think that. I just go, this is a thing that they've actually signaled yeah guys, we know WoW had some more RPG aspects, maybe we could bring them back. Maybe they can remove this and add some.
Well, if you're talking about it as a metaphor for a mindset change, then I think that it's going to be hard to disagree with that. I'd agree with it at least. I
think some of the things that I agree with you for the most part. The weird things that change, it's how do you really answer that, right? I mean, we're in a situation now where, if you actually look at classic WoW compared to what it was then, yes, there was so much class identity back then. There really was. You really only did play one thing. But now, when you look at classic WoW, I stopped playing during Molten Core. Around Christmas was when I started playing. I already have 4 geared 60s. The game is so different now than it was back then. God, yeah. So that stuff does come into play, and it's where was that class identity coming from? I do agree though. When you play games like Dungeons and Dragons, that is the entire enjoyment of the game. Where that fits into WoW, I do think that. Have you played the Star Wars MMORPG? Out of curiosity, the BioWare one,
the Old Republic,
the newer one,
I played it a bit at launch, but it didn't catch me at the time. I was kind of out of MMOs for a long time. I played
the end game's awful too, right? I get falling out of it. But you know what was cool about that game? You actually did have a lot of RPG elements that, when you were leveling up, you could play through it multiple different times. You chose things about your character. The power level wasn't really changing. There wasn't a lot of stuff gated behind those decisions that you were making. There were some things, but it was Aldor Scryer type changes that were locked behind them. When I look at what's happening with Covenants, that's why I'm actually saying I think a lot of things about Covenants are really good, because if they do it and double down and make as much content as something like SWOTOR had, or however people say the acronym, you could play through multiple different characters and be excited to level them because you're going to see a different side of the story because you are playing the Maldraxxus Covenant or you're playing the Ardenwall Covenant. I wish, though, that what was actually locked behind them was even more in your face as far as the decisions you make. I have said this a million times. I'm feeding a fed horse at a certain point, but I really do feel like a lot of those decisions, that's the PETA safe terminology, by the way, as I do continue to eat my dates, nuts, meat snacks. I just do like to use the PETA friendly terminology there. But the thing is if you do want to feed two birds with one stone and you actually do look at how you could set up a lot of different things like that, you can have the story be a reward. You can have those RPG elements be a reward, but I think you can go a step further and you can actually make more spell effects in the game and actually make it so when you're making these decisions, all of the spell effects that, let's say a warlock is an Ardenwall warlock, all of a sudden he has blue, fey looking fire. And I think something like that would be a huge reward, even though it's not just directly obtained through power, because even if you're getting the same end goal and you're getting the same power, if it is locked somewhat behind those RPG elements to the individual player, you feel empowered by the choices that you made. And that's where you got your power, regardless of if it's different than somebody else's. And visually, there will be some warlocks that are Maltraxxus warlocks, some warlocks that are this and that, and you will feel special to a certain degree.
No, I mean, I don't think that, like, cosmetic rewards are nothing. Like, clearly, they, like, the green fire was, everybody loves the idea of the green fire, everybody loved the mage tower. But when it comes down to it these days, everybody's just a copy and paste of each other. Like, and it's like that in Classic now too, obviously. Like in WoW Classic, modern WoW Classic, every warrior is going for the same thing, every rogue's going for the same thing. And that's kind of just how players are these days. But the reason I kind of bring this up is because, like, so for example, when you say everybody is doing X, what you really mean is, you don't mean literally 100% of people, you mean 95% of people. So, for example, 95% of warriors were Titan's Grasp warriors when they were Fury. You know, 95%, and I'm using random numbers, but like 95% of Frost DHs were two-handed or dual-wielding DHs. Thing that I think people kind of forget is that tiny 5%, when you look at all these different decisions that quote-unquote everybody does, that small percentage is not just the same small percentage of people repeating over and over again. They're different groups of people, and when you remove those things over and over and over again, what you end up with is everybody is kind of slightly miserable that something's been removed that they used to like, even though it wasn't meta. You start getting into those situations where it's like, yeah, I played the Titan's Grasp Warrior because it was the best, but man, my two-handed Frost DH is gone and I'm pissed off about that. There's not like one small group of people that are always the hipsters, and it's just they're just like completely cross-pollinated. There's no one else.
I see what you're saying.
Of people, and you start to spread that out, and I think it's actually overall more people as a whole that miss picking that little thing that was different, even if it wasn't huge. You like feeling a little special, and I don't think that cosmetic covers that entirely.
I would say that what you're saying is relatively anecdotal, but I would be likely to agree. I would be likely to agree, but I would be curious what the numbers actually say.
Every single person probably in their history of playing the game has made one of these, what you like to say, hipster decisions.
Yeah.
And they like playing it. For example, I liked playing Two-Handed Frost too. Them forcing basically players into playing dual wield Frost, I felt like was unnecessary. Like, why would you do that? Why would you force them into doing it? Why not just make them pick allow them to pick whatever they wanted to pick and just make the abilities work no matter what? And that's what I think the problem is, really, is that there are these focuses on trying to corral gameplay into some form of, like, you know, whatever it is. And those goals are kind of at the expense of what the players really want to do.
They don't let players make the wrong decisions.
That WoW feels very on rails. It feels like a very on rails experience these days.
Yeah.
And even though you could still say the same thing about, say, Classic, like you can say, like, this is every warrior's doing this. I'm like, yeah, but I don't have to. I don't literally have to do that.
Yeah,
like,
knowing you have the option, I think, is important.
And it's exactly, and this is why when I've had this discussion before with people, when they say, oh, you know, everybody does this anyways, I'm like, look, this is literally what they did with PvP vendors. Ian said it on stream a couple of times. They said we could look at the calendar and see everybody would buy boots in the first week, and the next reset they would buy X, and it's like, not everybody did that. Most people did, but not everybody. And when you removed PvP vendors and removed that options, everybody hated it.
And just
even
to agree
though the
with you,
majority of the people were buying the same thing.
Look at it this way. I didn't realize that other people were looking at the calendars and getting it, right? When I made that decision, I didn't go,
Right.
I'm sure everybody's doing this and I am going to too. I said, I'm going to do this because I want to. And when you don't see that, you are making the choice. And even if you follow a guide, you feel smart that you follow the guide. And so I do agree with you. The main reason that I'm going to disagree on the cosmetic thing, because I think cosmetic rewards don't do shit for me. It's never been something I've been excited about. You'll even see on both of my accounts, honestly, on both of my WoW accounts, there are a lot of mounts that I don't have, even though I engaged in that content when it was most recent. And I very easily could have gotten the mounts because I passed them out to other people, right? Like there are times where I just passed mounts to people, even in like recent times. I just don't care as much about that stuff. Eventually I'll go back and farm it if I have downtime. I don't mind getting the mounts, but I do care about the power more. I do very much agree with that. But I think that if you have cosmetics, like a new type of cosmetic, I think that it would feel very refreshing and it would feel like a new reward. Like I was excited for the Mage Tower weapons, for example, because it wasn't something that was really oversaturated. Like just another mount doesn't feel like that big of a deal to me, because like right now, like I'm riding on, like I have my Fell Steel Annihilator bound. I just got it this week. It was pretty exciting, but ultimately because I'm riding that, I'm not experiencing the other ones, and that it just doesn't have the luster. But if I was in a position where
it's the way that things happen in Classic WoW as kind of a way that it kind of shows you how different people make decisions nowadays. And the problem is that if you design a game with the way that you want people to play, you're always going to fail because you're trying to force behavior.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that Blizzard has too often tried to force certain types of behavior. And I think an example of this is personal loot. So originally personal loot was like an option that players could have. And then Blizzard players still didn't want that because it was an inferior option. And then Blizzard forced them into using it. Because like in Antorus, for example, you could have used personal loot for Mythic Antorus the entire way through, I'm pretty sure. And nobody ever really did that because it just wasn't a good way to do loot. So I think Blizzard taking the choice away from players and then making them play the game the way they want has been a problem for years. And I think this is kind of another example of that. Actually, the Covenants are an example of that. It's basically Blizzard going out of their way to create a system that nobody asked for without the context of 15 years of decision making that players have made. So for example, you have plenty of people who have played the game and looked at the way that it works, and just look at the way Classic is. I mean, if you play a Ret Paladin, you're just not going to get invited to 9 out of 10 raids. If you play a Moonkin, you're not going to get invited to 8 out of 10 raids. If you don't play a Dwarf Priest, you're going to be considered an idiot and probably not given gear over people that do play a Dwarf Priest. And there are all of these options that players have. And the reason why, like let's say humans have maybe they have more spirit or something like that, but it's just simply inferior to Fear Ward. That's just all there is to it. It's just inferior. And I think that's what's going to happen with the Covenant abilities too. Well, yeah, of course. And especially for PvP, because you're trying to balance them across all different types of content, and you have 2 abilities too. And because you have your base Covenant ability and then your class specific Covenant ability. So whenever you have that, like the way that people go about like finding gear and like making decisions in the game is just completely different now than it used to be. And I think that if Blizzard tries to design the game with some mentality that existed 15, 20 years ago in like tabletop games or Final Fantasy 3, and then they try to make that, the same thing now, they're just going to upset everyone and make no one happy.
Well, I don't think they should, I'm not saying, just try to make D&D exactly. I'm just...
Oh, I don't think they
want them
to
to
say that. Yeah.
I kind of want them to split the difference, because I feel like between, say, now and, say, Classic WoW. Classic WoW's a little bit too far in one direction with balance issues. But it feels like they've really just dialed into, no, this is what you're doing. I I actually agree with what I didn't think about it that way. What Asmund said, they're trying to force this system onto people that don't really want it, and they're trying to force player behavior. But I kind of, and this is, I guess, where I probably in the minority in this one situation is like, do you think there's any way to reduce people's intense focus on the meta down to the point where the meta doesn't actually matter? Like, it's clearly an issue in, like, you think it's just like, yeah, that's kind
The
of
reason why it's impossible is because it's actually not derived from the game itself. It's just societally driven. It's driven from third-party websites. It's driven from content creators. It's driven from other communities in the game. And because the reason why there's such a strong focus on metas now is because, versus before, is because information is so easily accessible. So for example, if you were playing with somebody 15 years ago in a video game and they didn't understand the best way of playing the game, that information of how to play the game in the best way was not readily accessible to them. But I think the difference now is that you can very easily find out how to play the game and how to do things correctly. And because it's so easy and so accessible, it becomes the expectation. And so unless you want to shut down the internet, you're going to have these same expectations. I think that that's one of the really cool things and one of the most exciting things. This is kind of a point, at least in what you're saying, is whenever you play a brand new MMO, players haven't data mined and theory crafted everything out. And you just get to play the game and experience it and try things out, and everybody's a stranger in the strange world. And it's one of the most magical parts of any game ever. I love that.
That was why I had fun with ESO, right? Because it wasn't new, but sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. What'd you say?
I had fun with Black Desert for the same reason.
With ESO, I just didn't give a fuck. So it had already been out for a while, but I just was rolling around doing bullshit. I played stuff because the abilities looked cool and I just had fun. And did I play it forever? No. Dude, oh my God, I think I'm still subbed.
Do you think there is how do you, because I know that I'm not the only person in the world who wants a slightly more open way of playing the game. Like, I'm not that much of a hipster. Like, you think there's a way to balance that sort of open, less balanced version of a game that has a little more flavor to it? Because sometimes I feel like modern WoW is like it used to be World of Warcraft, capital W World, where now it kind of feels like cue ball of Worldcraft because it's been polished to the point of it just being, it's shiny, but I feel like it's lost a lot of its flavor and a lot of its kind of heart in a way. Do you think there's a way to balance this current meta-driven, competitive-driven game with something older like that?
Well, I think a lot of that sanitary feel that it comes from has to do with what you already mentioned, right? I actually think it's pretty much the same thing. I think that the reason that strain feels like it's there and it just feels like you're kind of walking down a hallway in a hospital is because of the fact that you don't have the decisions and stuff does get overbalanced at times. I as somebody who has been involved with esports for a very long time, and obviously I love the competitive side of games. I genuinely do. Games should never be balanced around it. Tournament formats and the rules to everything that's going on in that ecosystem should be the way that that's balanced, right? The game itself being good and being fun should be the priority because that will help the esport in the long term as well. And
I think the game shifting is extremely important.
Yep.
Having things change. So for example, Blizzard buffing and nerfing certain things and shifting the balance of power around is really important to making players feel like the game is dynamic. Because if your class is, let's say, a Rat Paladin or a Moonkin or one of these other kind of crappy classes in Classic, that on day one, on the first day and the last day that you play the game, your character is going to suck. And that's what's kind of different about retail WoW, is that because the game is always in a state of flux, sometimes some classes are really good and sometimes they're not really that good. And I think that kind of everybody has just expected that. And also, there are abilities and like ways for players to kind of make different decisions and still be good at their class. Like right now, I'd say the class balance is relatively good in terms of rating, and there's no classes that are just universally bad. And I think that makes a really big difference too. Like classes are relative. Like obviously, one class might be really good at certain things, but overall, I think that they're pretty balanced.
Oh, absolutely. I think like that's kind of why Classic, as much as if I was to look at like Classic as a game and Modern WoW as a game, I think Classic is, as the whole game, is a better designed game holistically. Even though there are things about Modern WoW that are clearly significantly better in a number of ways. I didn't personally dive into Classic too much because the balance is on the opposite end of the extreme, where it's like, yeah, when they say a boomkin is actually useless, they mean like, no, it really can't. You are bad. Like you're really, really hampering yourself. It's a massive, massive damage loss. And you can say the same thing about X class and PvP or whatnot.
It's not the best option.
Yeah, well, I mean, correct. It's not the best option, but it's also Classic is sort of a different extreme because they're really unbalanced.
I think also it's a matter of players who are able to actively make decisions that handicap themselves. So for me personally, like if I know if a player is doing something that is like the not best way of, like a spell power hunter in Classic or something like that, if I know that they're playing this, I'm not going to let them in my raid.
Spell power pog.
Because they're actively handicapping themselves. Yeah. And the difference between somebody playing like a bad spec like that is that the ability that they have to choose the right spec and the knowledge that they had beforehand to make that decision. So I guess the difference with like Covenants is that I know that I'd be able to just go and tell somebody, or there's going to be a million guides out, which is like which Covenant to pick if you're a rogue and you want to do Mythic Plus. And it's not really that you won't be invited. Or I think with raiding, it's probably a better example because Mythic Plus is much more, disconnected or less centralized. But with raiding, for example, let's say you see a rogue and he's using, I think oftentimes people compare like the best Covenant to what would be arguably the second best Covenant. But what happens with the best Covenant and the worst Covenant? What's the difference there? So if you have two rogues that apply to a group or apply to a raiding guild, and one of them is the best, is using the best Covenant, and the other one is using the worst, and the one that's using the worst is performing worse than the one that's using the best, who do you think is going to get the raid spot?
Yeah, no, that's a good point. But I think it's better to let people actually, like you said in your arcane, your spell power hunter example, he still made that choice, and generally, like I think you should be like that. He made that choice, and you made the choice to say, "Hey, you're not coming to my raid." And that sucks for those people, but I think it's better to have those choices in the game than to simply not have them at all. Because I don't think, like you were talking about controlling player behavior, I don't think patching out bad social interactions works, because every time you patch out a bad social interaction, you also patch out a good one.
Yeah, I mean, but just
same aspect. I'm like I said, I don't think Covenants are the best system in the world. I just am happy that they're actually noticing that, like, hey, people want choice, like actual options and choices in the game. And they sometimes like to feel special.
Yeah, but you also have to look at it realistically, right? Like, I right now on my, like, I could, on my Hunter, for example, I could stack Verse and Mastery if I wanted to. I could stack Mastery. I do terrible damage. I still can do that. Like, there are still options like that in the game. And you don't, like, I don't do them. I'm not saying that it's, like, it's not all the way gone. And people don't make those decisions as often as people...
I kind of disagree on that, because I feel like nobody's like, oh man, I want to stack. Like, there's occasionally people like, I want to stack Mastery, but most of the secondary stats are not particularly interesting. Like, Mastery's real boring because it's generally just a flat damage boost. I get what you're saying. Like, some of those options still exist.
Well, let me give you an example.
Okay.
So, would you agree pretty much universally that haste is a more interesting stat than versatility
Yes.
in PvE. So there are a lot of people who versatility is their best stat in PvE, and they all stack versatility. None of them stack haste. Even though haste might make their character more interesting and dynamic to play, none of them stack that because it's not what the best decision is.
Oh, I'm not arguing that people as a general rule, most people tend to choose the quote unquote best, numerically best. I'm just saying that removing, like for example, versatility is, let's just say, I don't know, Windwalker Monk's best stat. I have no idea, using a random example.
Well, okay, I agree with what you're saying. I think that really the problem that I have with Covenants is that it's the permanence of it.
Yeah.
So being locked into a bad decision is really what I don't like. I don't like the ability. I think, yeah, you should be able to make a stupid decision with your Covenant.
Thank you.
But then what happens whenever you make the stupid decision and then you want to change it? Then what?
I think no. I mean that's a good point. I mean they said changing it once is good, but changing back is the problem. So I think, like I said, I think a lot of my
thank you, thank you, Tiny Tori.
It's just about the attitude around it. Like if they had a whole lot more of these small decisions, like picking your weapon option for whatever spec you are, like all those tiny things, it makes, because there could be so many more small ones that in and of themselves aren't a big deal. It makes people feel less copy and pasted. So like Covenants don't really need to be locked in. But are you saying that like you don't want any kind of permanent choices at all in WoW? Like in general? Like I kind of like them, and I get that a lot of people don't, so I'm not going to be the person to say they should do it just for me, but like I kind of like permanent choices.
I don't think that you really like look at it this way. This is an example of, I actually mentioned this on Allcraft already, so I'm not sure if you heard it, but I was talking about how I'm building my shaman not the right way, right? And I'm basically I made a build. It's not dog shit. It's close to what some other people are running, but I'm doing it because I think it's fucking cool and I want to play that way, right? I'm already doing that. It takes a lot of time to actually invest in those corruptions. And now, later, after I finish that, I can use that build to eventually get the other corruptions and put them on other gears and go for a different build. It's not permanent. I keep that progress, and that's that. I unlock it, and then I move on. And I think that something like that is good. I think that something like that creates an ecosystem where you're motivated to continue playing, but you're not stuck into something that you might later feel like is a mistake for a very long time.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not super attached to Covenants. It's not like I think they're the best idea in the entire world. It's really just that if it's the first time I've seen in like a long time where Blizzard goes, okay, people like to make choices and feel different than other players. I'm happy about that specific aspect. If they
do you think people like to make the choice, or do you think that people are forced into making the choice by Blizzard's design?
For Covenants specifically, or just in general?
Probably. I mean, just for Covenants.
Well, I guess I disagree with the concept of forced choices, because you're not actually forced. I guess if you're the type of player who's doing really high-end content where it is really necessary, you're not. But in general, I guess maybe I'm in a lucky situation. I just play with my guild, and they're just going to deal with whatever I pick because it's my character, and I'm not going to play my character the way they want me to play it.
What kind of content do you do?
I do mostly heroic, and I go into mythic a little bit. Like we got 4 bosses down in Eternal Palace before we said, "Fuck it, we're not having fun," and our guild broke apart.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's really kind of... This has always been like an age-old thing, right? Is it worth it to invest your time and, do that kind of stuff? And whenever you're... Jesus Christ. Just a minute, I'm trying to get a supply drop in Master Jatar, and it's a pain in the ass. So anyway, I think that's like... It depends on what content you're doing, and also like if you're playing with friends. I think that's probably the biggest difference, and I think that's kind of the the point of difference that I would emphasize is that just like in D&D, your friends are the ones that are putting up with that, and your friends effectively have to make up the slack that you create by not making the right decisions for your class. So whenever you have people that you don't have the trust that you've built up with, that you have with your friends, then they're going to be less likely to want to make up that slack.
Yeah, my problem is just with that term, like that idea of forced choices, or it's like there's no real choice. I'm like, there is. That, like, the other option is that there's no options, and we already know people don't actually like that, because that's exactly what happened with PvP vendors. They removed them, people didn't have any options, and everyone freaking hated it.
Well, there's
So
no like 10 commandments that say that the choices the players make have to be permanent to an extent that they
That's true.
end up being harmful to their character.
I mean, yes, that's true. Like I said, I'm not super. It's not like a huge sticking point for me. It's more just I hear there's no real choices. I'm like, I get it. Everybody would rather everything be more balanced to the extent where everybody has a crap load of options and people can choose everything. But I see it a lot used as an argument to just remove things just for the sake of balance, so that there's no social issues in raiding or M+ or arena, and you can't get rid of those social issues anyways. You just kind of change what the social issues are. And I don't think it should be used as an argument to remove options.
Personal loot, for example.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that was the whole friggin' remember you couldn't trade Azerite at the beginning of the expansion. It was a pain in the ass. So yeah, I mean, honestly, I'd be willing to give up the goat on permanent choices. I guess I just want more options, and I want Blizzard to stop telling me this is what you got. Like you're a Titan's Grasp warrior, and that's that.
If it's not permanent choices, then we're in complete agreement. I totally agree. I think it'd be great.
Yeah, I mean, I like them personally, and but I understand the argument that it's not necessarily healthy for the game overall, and I think there are a lot of other ways they can bring the RPG aspects back to the game without it specifically being permanent choices.
Well, that's good. Yeah, I do totally agree with that. I just want to see the game be more, what's like really the word for it? I want to see it be more open and like expansive. I think the same thing that you do, and giving people the options to make good choices and bad choices are the most important thing. So yeah, I do appreciate you coming on and like explaining and giving like your perspective too, because I think these kinds of things and conversations are interesting to have. See like where the people are coming from.
Hey, thanks for talking to me for so long. Appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, I really like a lot of what you said. I think is really important. It was fun to talk about it. Thank you, man.
Awesome. Talk to you guys later.
Take it easy.
Talk to you about my face.
Dude, Zach, I know you got to get food. Will you look at one thing really quick? Dude, have you ever had this happen? Look at my ear.
What is it?
The headset has been like cutting into it and feels like I have a scab. What do I do?
Scratch it off.
When I put my head on my pillow at night, it hurts. Like it's that bad.
Just get your finger and pinch it the fuck off.
The scab?
Yeah,
but won't it just happen again? Like I feel like every day it gets worse.
No, because it's not happening all over the year. Like that'd be the first thing I would do is like just pull that shit off, get it out of there. I'm like, don't even worry about it. Like I'm not a doctor, by the way.
I trust you,
maybe
dude.
Not the best decision.
You know what started to feel better?
What?
The tooth. After you said if I waited long enough, it was either gonna get better or it was gonna kill me.
Yeah.
I ain't dead yet.
Hey, there it is.
Yo, enjoy your food, dude.
Yeah, for sure, dude.
I'll see you soon. Peace.
Peace.
Let's get this fucking stream started. Guys, thank you for another incredible episode of Allcraft. Thank you for another incredible viewer call-ins. And thank you for watching me play with Deets Nuts. Oh, man. So, here's what I'm thinking about doing right now. Congrats on 10K. Guys, thank you for 10,092 subs. 83,000 followers. And another 100,000 views this week. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And yeah,